There's my
I
buddy
just like it with the rig
Grouch.
tube. There you go,
My buddy
Grouch.
Chris.
What's up?
And we are live on 75.
Oh shit!
Oh man, this is the after show.
Now we got to get on 7200 and start causing chaos.
No, son, you
I'm
need to
gonna
get
have to go
on
get more
75
soda.
meters on the 75 ohm ham channel. 7.2 ain't got nothing on 3903.
Hey, let's talk some 75 ohm shit since
Let's do it.
Right?
Yeah.
All right. So I got the RV. Okay.
Yeah.
Now in the RV, I have two access points for 75 ohm coax. I got one here in the kitchen, and then I got one in the bedroom. So the kitchen one is the closest to the ham shack. So I'm gonna run a line of 50 ohm coax to the 75 ohm coax to go outside to where I'm gonna connect 50 ohm coax again to go to my antenna. So what do I have to do, Paul? I mean, Ziggy, what do I have to do, right, to manage that mismatch between the 50 ohm and the 75 ohm?
All right, so don't worry about the mismatch.
Don't worry about it at all.
Don't worry about it at all. Let's see here. Sorry, I'm trying to. Jason, do you want to jump in, buddy? There's the link right there. Anyway, don't worry about the mismatch because we're going to figure that out later. So you're saying that you're going to run 50 ohm to the 75 ohm point and then try to like duct out of the RV through its 75 ohm breakout? Is that what you're telling me? All right.
Correct.
So do not run 50 ohm to that 75 ohm point.
Okay. So
You
run
need
75 ohm from the radio to the access, which then goes outside.
Right. So now we.
Whoa, Michael. Michael.
Did you?
Dadgummit.
There's still an echo.
All
right. Anyway.
All right.
So you know my favorite little adapter, right? The PL to F.
Yep. I got a couple of those on order.
Did you? Really?
Yeah.
You're lying.
No, I'm dead serious, dude. You sent me the link, and I added it to my cart, and I ordered it.
Yeah, these guys right here.
Yeah. That nice little fucking 75 to 50 ohm little adapter.
Yeah. So that's great. That is great. So yeah, just run straight 75, and then I need to see what the hell I'm doing.
So then once I get outside,
once we get outside, the fun begins, right? Here's Michael again.
Okay, sorry, I lost you guys there.
Are you good?
Okay. I think I'm good. I closed out my computer because I don't know why it doesn't want to work for me today. So
well, there's no echo, so you're good.
So, all right. So, assuming that you're trying to hit the first four big bands, right? 10, 15, 20, 40. That's going to be about 60 feet of 75 ohm coax to hit all of those harmonics at 50 ohms. Because, you know, the impedance, because of the length of it, goes up and down.
Right. Yeah. Right? So I gotta be 40 through 10.
Say it again.
40 through 10.
Is that all you're interested in?
Yep. Just below the 40 meter band. Below the 40 meter band to 10 meters. Right. Yeah, so I gotta be able to go into the Mars frequencies
over here.
And I'm not giving away any super secrets, but the Mars frequencies are just below the 40 meter band.
So let me do some ape shit here and go to middle screen explaining.
Ape it.
So this is Sim NEC. Yeah. So this is Sim NEC, and what do I
Can you
have
full
here? I've
screen
got
that shit?
10. Is it not? Oh, I'm sorry. That's a whole nother production layer that I'm not paying attention to.
All right.
I have to find out which monitor.
The rest of us.
All right, and me.
There we
Yes.
go. Okay.
So let's zoom out a little bit. Let's see. All right, so yeah, so there's our 40. And I hate this coloring. But
Yeah,
let's
so I
see.
need to be able to go like
Yeah, so 40 hits at the very beginning of the band here. So perfect. Okay, so this is a great length. Sorry, I'm going to use my wheel
Yeah.
like a peasant to come in and out. But do you see the high?
yeah.
See, people think that 75 ohm versus 50 ohm is, a linear scale, right? They think it's one is one and two is two, but that's not a fact because you will actually get a high. You see almost a 2.3 SWR. If you take 50 ohms times 2.3, you're going to come up with more than 75 ohms, which I find very interesting. So if you need to match, up to and over 100 ohms, you can with this, magic feed line that everybody has a hard time with. But
This
so
magic feline called
Right.
cable fucking coax.
yeah, at 10
Yeah.
cents a foot. At 10 cents a foot. But so here's Sim NEC. I'm so glad you guys are making me talk about 75 ohms. I feel like the whole ham community is looking at me going, what in the shit? Anyway,
Yeah, but in a practical application such
I got
as
the
this,
math. I got the math.
right? Like, why the fuck should I punch a new hole in my trailer when I've already got 75 ohm running to the outside?
So here's the problem, right? In a perfect world, you've got quad shield from front to back, from the radio through the camper and out of the camper, but that's not the case. Maybe it is. I don't know. Maybe they put quad shield in your camper, but I don't know. So I can't
Doubt it.
guarantee it. I can't guarantee it. Right. It's not even that expensive, right? So here we are at 60, almost 61 feet. So I go 61 feet. Actually, I go a couple more feet and I spend the afternoon trimming because I'm, paranoid as can be.
As a mother.
Right. So I'll trim it back, but here we are at 61 feet, and then you will hit 40, 20, 15, and 10, all on the FT8 on the lowers, right?
Which is
Let me see.
perfect because
Yeah.
that's where Mars operates in voice, is below FT8.
Let's go 1 megahertz here. Let's make it real mad.
I'd give
All
you
right.
the actual frequency, but I'm just use
Yeah.
4 megahertz as a reference.
Oh man, I'm so sorry. My damn Jesus. All right, where is Logicam? I'm sorry, guys. I'm like right over top of this. How about that?
Oh, there you go. Yeah, you just move yourself around.
Okay. Whoa. I got crazy. So does everybody understand what's going on here? 1, 2, 3, and 4 at 40, 20,
Well,
15, and 10.
Yeah.
I see very specific resonant frequencies.
Right. So this is so what I've done here, if you look at the top left here, this is I'm trying to think, the generator, right? Generator sign. This is my load. My load's 50. My transmission line is 75. And my transceiver is 50. Does everybody follow that?
Yep.
I'm following it.
Right.
Yeah. So here's my transmission line, and here's my length, simplified. The velocity factor is very important. And you know what's weird? I've always thought that this was strange. Like, we read about this as new hams trying to get our tech license, that velocity factor is by default 0.66. I want to punch that sumbitch in the face.
My gosh.
You know what, Ziggy? It's not, and I've known that for way longer than I've been a ham.
I have to crack another beer. So anyway, what's great about 75 ohm coax, right, that we don't get in our ham radio community is that you buy a feed line from a guy at the ham show. Hey, what's the velocity factor? Where's the data sheet? Where's the spec sheet? You know what all coax manufacturers have to do? They have to pass rigorous high frequency testing on all the products that they use because that's just the nature of the game. Somehow 50 ohm coax sidesteps all of this. And I think it's crap, right? Like we're supposed to be the elitist, but find a spec sheet on some 50 ohm coax. Good luck. You know what all the spec sheets look like on 75 ohm coax? Identical and perfect.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. All the spec. Yeah. You can look at any piece of 75 ohm coax. You can get the numbers off of it. Google it. You'll find the manufacturer and they're complete ISO 911 certified, independent certification with all the numbers.
So you could go out and buy ABR cable coax. Essentially.
Hold on. You've crossed the line with me. We don't. ABR is not a company to be messed with.
But you don't have
Yeah, be careful because they have goons that will take you out.
No, ABRs are my homies. The thing is that again, in our hobby at 50 ohms, our cable isn't treated the same.
Well, now the whole reason we use 50 ohms, to my understanding, is because that's what the radio wants.
Well, back in the day, everything was like 70 something odd ohms. It wasn't exactly 75, correct?
Well, it didn't matter back in the day what the transmitter's expected impedance was because they all ran parallel, perpendicular lines, and they just tapped at a point, and that's what I'm trying to show here is that these are tap points along length. And if you're trying to match your transceiver or whatever, they just moved the entire antenna system along the feed line until they got to whatever impedance that they were after. Antennas are a lot more simple once you understand impedance matching. You know, we see all these variables like ZR and ZR and fictional and, you know, realistic type numbers, and we get kind of like turned off scared and we just kind of default back to SWR. But we don't need to do that. We really need to go back to the absolute 1942 wartime fundamentals of just straight impedance matching.
So for the morons like myself, right, that literally only know what they learned in preparation for the ham radio exams, where like 50 ohms is what we want, right? Like, what is the difference to the transceiver between 50 ohms and 75? Like, does the transceiver really even give a shit?
So, assuming your antenna is a proper and proud antenna that presents 50 ohms at the harmonics that we're after, in this case, 10, 15, so like, 20, and 40.
I've got a
if you use this length,
fed half wave.
If you use this length, tuned in fed half wave, proper man, proper gentleman, cheers. At those tuned harmonics, your antenna is presenting a close to reactance 0, 50 ohm match. And if you used a feed line, say it's a 40 meter version, if you used a feed line of almost 61 feet of 75 ohm, in a perfect world, your radio wouldn't know the difference.
Okay, so I would just need a longer length of the 75 ohm coax.
But let's capitalize on the wire that's in your trailer right now. However, my fear is that the coax in your trailer is not a to B situation. It's kind of more like a input and then like 3 splits kind of situation. So those would act
well,
like,
it's definitely at least an input to 2 splits because I
well,
have
we
2
can't
drops.
right, we can't use it because whatever we tag onto, what we don't tag onto, is going to act like a capacitor.
A counterpoise.
No,
Yeah.
a capacitor and a counterpoise. You're correct. And a counterpoise. You're correct. So both
Well,
two things.
hold on a second.
That's my favorite saying. Two things can be true at once.
Yeah.
Here's the question, and Grouch, you may take this with a grain of salt or whatever else.
Dude,
But
I
what
don't
about running?
fucking take offense.
What about running 75 ohm all the way back there, straight back, basically stripping out the old coax and putting new coax in that's just straight 75 ohm all the way back to that area, so you have a straight run of 75 coax.
So in this situation that you've now presented me with, I would just simply advise just running a 50 ohm front to back, because now we're basically modifying the trailer in a proper fashion, and there's no real reason to do this, because the run's going to be short, maybe 20 feet at most.
Less than.
Exactly
I'd
my
say,
point.
yeah.
We don't have to get crazy math on like a 15-foot run. We should just run a 50 ohm whip from front to back and do some kind of hole in the floor, and hope that we can cover up our destruction. Correct.
I mean, because like, I mean, at the end of the day, right? Like, I could, in theory, easily fucking punch a hole through the wall, and have 50 ohm coax coming from my radio and going through the hole in the wall out to my antenna, and have it be 50 ohm all the way. But my goal is to not punch another hole in the wall, but to use the 75 ohm coax that's already pre-wired in the trailer.
Makes sense.
And so I've got,
because
I've
you
got,
don't want
I've
to do
got
a
2
TO.
drop points.
Well,
Yeah.
so originally when you proposed me with this idea, I thought that there might be a dedicated run from one point to another point. And I was like, okay, cool. So that's probably going to like chew up like, I don't know, 20, 30 feet. And then we just got to go another 20, 30 feet outside until we fall into, these harmonics again that I just showed. I guess there's
Yeah,
not a
I
lot
mean,
going on.
I would venture to guess, right, that based on the location of the drop that I'm going to use versus where the location on the outside is, that it's maybe 12 feet.
Yeah,
Of
there's
75 ohm coax.
There's no reason to do this in your situation.
Right. So I'm gonna go.
When I gotta go. When I gotta go
for
way
like
out to the
12
field.
feet, and then the 75 ohm for the other 12 feet to the outside, where I'm gonna connect again 50 ohm to my antenna.
My point exactly. Yeah, there's no point. And in fact, what's really great is that we all think that 50 ohms doesn't do this harmonic dip that my 75 ohm does. But in all actuality, if you were to put a 50 ohm load on any length of coax and do the exact same test on a Rig Expert, you're going to see a fluctuation from 45 ohms up to 52 ohms or 56 ohms or whatever, because no two coax is proper, right? And no coax is proper. I mean, this is a simulation, and I still take this with a grain of salt. That's why I cut my feed lines a couple feet longer, because I don't know what's going to happen, and I can't cut it longer. But tuning feed line is super Like, you think tuning an antenna is tight? Tuning a feed line is like centimeters. Like, you throw away inches.
That's why I always say I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm having fun doing it. But I know
That's right.
people around me that know. And that's the key. Is ham radio is not meant to be a solo sport. It is something you do as a group. People ask me all the time, how do I get involved in ham radio? Get involved with a club. That is so important. That is a key part of it.
Well, Michael,
I hate
I'm
to
gonna stop
disagree.
there.
I love you, Michael.
I'm gonna agree. I'm gonna agree to disagree with you and like Ziggy, but it's not always about the club.
We
It's
have
about having
Discord.
people-
We have StreamYard. We have this is our club,
And that's
dude.
all
Oh.
club. That's all club.
Did you guys see my last fucking video on clubs and my
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
dissertation on clubs?
It's not
did I not
1994. We don't have to drive to the local volunteer fire department and have our ham radio club where there's not even a ham radio in the building.
Right.
And all we
No,
talk about, hold
I
on,
go
hold
to
on. I
one
got
of
more.
those.
No,
Let
no,
me
you're
let
good, you're
me
good. Keep going.
let
Ziggy.
me unload
Unload it. Get it
where
off
we're
your
gonna
chest.
talk about the treasury holder's amount of money that he's got sitting in a briefcase.
Right.
And
or not.
Hold on. That amount of money is the exact same amount of money as last month because they haven't done shit.
Okay.
And all of a sudden we have to have minute meetings and people signing off. And I was like, dude, why am I here?
Okay, so let me unload a little bit here. And one of the things that I really push for the club is
I'm sorry, Palaka.
is it's not all about what you think ham radio is. It's not all what I think ham radio is, or radio period.
My local ham radio club got me into politics. If that tells you
so
anything,
you're a 501c, correct? You're a nonprofit organization. What do nonprofit organizations do?
Make money.
No.
Okay.
At a bare minimum, 75% of all money received
or
needs to
75
go into your programs.
Okay. So what is a
Thank
program?
you, Grouch.
As an amateur radio or a radio club is involved in?
What's the question?
What is the program that an amateur radio or a radio club in general is involved in?
Whatever it is, at least 75% needs to go back into the program. Whether that's community awareness or
Michael, what's the answer?
Buying fucking radio to give to new hams. Yes. So
my thought of an amateur radio club or any radio related club is the ability to communicate no matter the situation. Are we kind of in the same area?
Okay, I'm with you.
All right. So a common acknowledgement of communication between operators,
right,
within the general localized region.
Hey, that was pretty good, right?
Yeah, no, that was
not just
very,
radio
that was very
operators,
good.
but think about this. So both the Denton County Amateur Radio Association and the Lake Area Amateur Radio Club, which I'm members of, they both put up GMRS radios. Is that ham radio? No. Is it?
GMRS is not ham radio.
Absolutely. But what is it?
It's radio.
It's radio.
It's radio, but it's not ham radio.
Right. Is it opera or is it metalcore opera?
You
Is
cannot
what I'm
modify
hearing.
your radio on GMRS.
Right. So,
But we all
like you
do.
can on
So
ham.
let's stop pretending like that's a thing.
Listen, no. There's a difference
is the
between
similarities?
hams modifying their shit.
Well, we're allowed
GMRS,
to.
You can't. You can't modify your shit.
Well, no,
Okay,
we modify our shit to talk to their shit.
Right. So
Yeah,
what?
pretty much.
Okay. So here
What's
you
the
go.
problem? We're
Here you go.
licensed. We're trusted. They trust us to do stuff properly.
Okay. So
So hold
what
on.
are
I
the
have hold on.
similarities?
Hold on.
Go. Go.
Give ham radio operators back 11 meters. We
Yes,
have
please.
proven that we can operate our shit not only properly but clean.
Yeah.
Right?
Even amplified.
Right?
Yes.
We've proven it. They let us run around on 7.2 with 1500 watts willy-nilly.
We can do what we want.
And dude, are you kidding me? It's 27 megahertz. That shit shuts down at 6. Who cares? Right?
6?
Right?
Try like 4 p.m.
Right. What's the problem? And you know what this would do? It would allow us to intermingle, and we could kind of shit on the 11 meter guys a little bit and make them take their fucking tech ticket. Right? Am I wrong?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me tell you about 11 meters is in Dallas. It's useless, okay? But on the road, if I'm taking a road trip, I want 11 meters in my vehicle. I want VHF.
Now, hold on.
I want HF in my vehicle.
There's two different 11 meters. Are you talking about sideband 11 meters?
By the way,
are you talking about
No,
side?
There's only one 11 meters.
No, there's
there
not.
you go. Thank
No,
you.
there's not. No,
Yes,
there's
there
not.
is.
There's
No,
there's
I
lower
not.
I
side.
get what both of you
Nope.
are saying. I
The
get
CD
what
in my
both-
truck will do single sideband. It'll do AM. It's all the same.
No, it's not. You don't know
Yes,
many 11
You're
meter
restricted
operators.
to 4 watts on AM,
Right,
and you can go up to 12 watts on single sideband.
right.
Okay,
CB,
but those are
11
those are-
meters. Like that's the way it
you're
is.
You're not letting me do this.
Those
are-
Okay, so let's bring it back.
Please.
Let's
Stop.
back up a little bit. What is the
No,
purpose?
let's not. Grouch. There are two different modes of 11 meters. There are the AMers, right?
Okay.
And there are the sideband guys. And they are actually two completely different modes, and they never interact. I don't know how many 11 meter people that you know, but the AMers and the sidebanders, it's two different things.
Yeah.
Like they don't. Right? Yeah. No, it's night and day. Like I have AMer 11 meter buddies, and I've got sideband guys that chase DX only. It's a lot bigger than you want to laugh about. Like honestly, it's huge. They're doing FT8 on 11 meters right now.
Get the fuck out of here!
Oh,
Nobody's
see,
doing
this was a
on
test.
11 meters.
This was a test to see how much you knew about 11 meters.
So I'm not familiar with the digital modes on CB or if it's even legal. Okay,
It's not legal.
Okay, that's what.
It's not
Actually,
legal.
actually, it is legal, and I'll tell you how.
It is, but I'm.
Do you want to know how? Oh no, I'll tell you how.
Go ahead, Ziggy.
All right.
So
FT8 on 11 meters.
Do you guys remember those cushy speaker mic pickups that we used to have back when the internet was trying to get out of shitting its diapers?
Yeah.
That's exactly what we do because it's technically an unmodified voice carrier being put into unmodified hardware. It doesn't matter what the audio is coming in because it's still analog through the stock hardware and it violates no laws.
Is it using tones or something else than voice?
No.
Then it's not illegal.
It's not. It's audio modulation.
Yep.
All right. How
Using
how many
a
people are
human
doing that?
No, not a human voice. No, not a human voice. The stock microphone listening to a speaker connected to a computer sound card that's making the sounds. It works, and it works really well.
Okay.
And they do it all day long.
Okay.
Well-
Jury's out on that on my side.
I don't know how to
That's
do
fine.
that.
That's fine. I'm just telling you, there's a legal way to do it. That's all I'm saying.
But
Do they do it that way? No. I'm just telling you the legal way.
I'm not going to speak any more on that. But
Why?
But so going back.
No.
to,
This is the problem with ham radio.
We're going back to ham clubs. Okay.
Okay.
Can we do that? It's your stream. So
Fucking A.
Hey,
Go
Michael.
where you want to go.
Hey, Michael. I've
Yes,
made
sir.
FT8 contacts on 11 meters legally.
okay.
Yeah.
So
and
I've
like-
never been on
Abe-
FT8 and ham radio or 11 meters or anything else.
I'm just trying to prove to you that I'm not bullshitting you, man.
hold on
no,
a second
Devil's
here.
advocate.
And
I'm
there's
cool
a
with that. I'm
comment.
cool with that.
There was a comment over here that from the ape that says he's doing 11 meter FT8 right now. So it has to be legal.
He's
Because he's
Why?
doing it.
If the
He's
fucking
doing
ape's
it.
doing it,
Yeah.
bullshit. You
So-
guys don't.
I
You
know
guys
you.
don't know. You guys don't know Abe. He's bullshitting you.
Yeah, I know
Okay,
it is.
so okay.
But I'm just saying.
Whatever link.
Oh,
you
he's
gave
got
me,
the
I'm
horn.
not getting
Watch
all
out.
the stuff
He's
from
got the
it.
horn. He's got the horn.
Oh, I do have the horn, but that's
Why?
for a different reason. But no, I have kids asleep. I'm not gonna do it.
God damn, son.
Stay away
If you knew
from
what
the
You
I was
can't-
next to, you'd
you
be-
can't pull
You're
that shit
really
out and
mad
not
about
fucking-
this FT811
Yeah.
business, aren't you?
No. It doesn't bother me because I'm not living at all right now.
Michael, can you remember what we were trying to argue about like 30 seconds ago?
No.
Yes.
Valid argument confirmed.
Okay. So my thought on amateur radio groups is they are
Back to
nonprofit.
clubs. That's right.
Yeah, they are nonprofit. They do support a lot of things. So like Aries program, I shared with you on the Prep and Paul channel how effective our Aries group is and how the county is very supportive of them. But a big portion of that I didn't share that I should have is that it's the amateur radio groups that make a lot of what we do possible. From everything from assets to knowledge base to all that. So a lot what we do is, we do our emergency communications. We support the different groups within the county when it comes to a disaster or emergency. But what else can amateur radio groups do? They can show the importance of communications methods. Both the Denton County Amateur Radio Association and the Lake Area Amateur Radio Club, that's K5LRK and thecar.net. What they've done is they have put up GMRS repeaters. GMRS is not ham radio. GMRS is not for the ham radio hobby.
Hold on.
GMRS are
Stop.
Hang on. Let me finish.
No. Go ahead. Finish.
So they're appliance users. They can use repeaters and stuff, but they're very restricted in what they can do. They have 8 channels that they can use. But my thought is
They can
the
use all
FCC
20.
has sliced off that section of bandwidth for GMRS use separate from ham radio. GMRS is for your family. Ham radio is for your community. If you want to do something that will be greater for the community, that's ham radio. But if you're trying to take care of your family and they don't want to go through the process of getting a ham license, that's what GMRS is for.
Well, I thought that my son could use my call sign.
Correct.
When you're there being the radio operator, the control operator.
Uh-huh.
My house is my operation zone.
But you're supposed to be the president.
Which call
as the
sign?
control operator.
I'm
Which-
present, son.
Which call sign?
So I had
Stop, Chris. That's
I
Well,
want to see. I want to see.
oh, I
see
see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. My
little
GMRS.
female Ziggy.
Yeah.
Getting on and being like, "Hey, this is little female Ziggy," and giving Ziggy's call sign, and being like, "And
They all
the
know my
net will
call sign.
start now."
Right. But
No,
Ziggy is
that
trying
is
to-
totally legit because
my son
it only
uses my
comes into
GMRS.
question if it comes into question.
Yeah, my
At
son
which point
uses my GMRS.
I would forward it.
You know,
Well,
he doesn't
okay,
use.
so
He doesn't
hold
use
on,
my.
hold on.
ham.
All that this is tired. Michael was saying GMRS is not ham radio. And what I stopped hard at is that they have to deal with a higher signal, a higher loss, a more complicated installation, and a more restrictive environment to install all of these things. Plus, they don't have the backbone of the ham radio community. They're going out basically on their own from ground up, because I know I did, from ground up. It's not easy to put up a GMRS. Now what is cool is that the duplexer has a 5 megahertz offset.
All right, just like ham radio.
Ham radio has a 0.6 megahertz offset.
No, that's for VHF. UHF, it's 5 megahertz.
I'm talking about inter-community repeaters on ham radio on VHF, right, are going to be harder at VHF, where the GMRS guys, they can buy eBay cans and get close enough. Because a point, Michael, what? A 0.6 megahertz offset on cans is harder, and you actually encounter more loss.
Correct.
You know what I'm talking about? I run repeaters.
Cans.
I run repeaters. So I'm only speaking of experience here. VHF repeaters suck, dude. I hate them. At 50 watts or 100 watts, you're losing half your power before you even get to the cans or get back out to the damn antenna again.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
That's
so
why
I'm all
300 and then.
I'm not trying to shut you down, Michael. I'm sorry to interrupt.
Oh, you're good. You're good. You're good.
No,
the difference is it's a different type of radio. It's
It's a service. It's a service.
It's a different service. There you go. Thank you.
Yeah.
But I have two boys. One let his radio license lapse. The other one never got it. And is that a GMRS?
Oh,
Chris,
that looks like a Vero.
Good. No, it's
definitely
a
a
Baofeng.
Yeah,
Baofeng
Baofeng
17 GMRS.
So Michael, you had a boy let lapse.
Fuck GMRS.
Yeah, it'll be 2 years.
I bought two for the kid, one for me, one for the kid.
So here's the thing, Grouch, about GMRS. It's kind of like you can embrace it and brutalize it and abuse it like I do, or you can run away from it and never be a part of it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Listen, I'm okay with GMRS as long as I can use it on my ham radio.
Okay. So with that, all I've got to say is all my radios transmit on those frequencies.
Well, mine do too, because I'm Mars modded.
Well, we didn't have to say that out loud, but yes.
Yes, sir.
But yeah.
And further, if we want to go federal, that's my freedom of speech. So
fuck you.
No, I'm gonna put my foot down right there. Go ahead and draw me up.
That is my freedom of speech.
Here's the other one that does 220, 2 meters and 70 centimeters, and of course,
it does other stuff. Come on.
Yeah, it does.
Dude, all right. Listen, I got a fucking Yaesu. Oh shit! Oh, it's all right.
Shit.
No,
Yaesus
it's
are
all right.
notoriously easy for modifying.
Yes, they
Dude.
are.
The Yaesu FT3D. I fucking modified this motherfucker in like 3 seconds.
Yeah, because the modification like instructions said, grab your pee, put your hand on your head, and then cough.
And magically,
Yeah.
the fucking diode that you need is fucking removed.
Boom.
And you can do whatever the fuck you want. Like,
It's not even a diode, it's a 0 ohm resistor.
yeah, I can do whatever the fuck I want, and I love it.
No,
Yeah.
and that's about as American as it gets for me. And I even have this stuff. These are business DMR radios, and I love
Oh,
these because
God.
they're so,
I hate
What?
those things
why?
because of the issues that I've had around here with them.
So I had a single purpose, and they did a single job, and they did it extremely well. So I'm super happy.
Well, that did great.
Yeah, all they had to do was listen, and boy, when the
They
signals
listen.
are loud around you, and all you need is this little guy. Oh man! And what I love even more is that not only can I transmit in DMR, but I can transmit unfeathered, unquestioned, encrypted. So I went ahead and set up against all ham radio logic and things that I've signed off on. I can transmit encrypted DMR on this device that is sold to ham radio operators.
What? Encrypted?
oh,
Oh,
Yeah.
you can't
I'm
do encrypted?
no.
I'm
Actually,
not going to put you in a position I'm in.
I take all that back. I've never once done it.
There you go.
Yeah,
Thank you.
right.
Just,
I'm a liar.
deny.
Yeah, it happens.
But you know what I do hate is that it actually does take some processing time to do the unencryption on the receiving end. So there's this mad almost 2 to 3 second delay. And it's like, screw that. We'll just switch back over to FRS. Also, if anybody talks about GMRS, I want them to say GMRS/FRS because they are the same damn thing.
Well, they're the same frequencies. The only big difference is the using repeaters and the power levels.
Right. So basically the power levels.
Yeah. Now, GMRS is so convoluted. Like the middle section of channels, you're not allowed to have a mobile unit or a powered unit that's outside of a handheld.
The middle,
frequencies.
yeah. The middle 8 frequencies are low power no matter what service.
Right. And, it's either or, but I see a place for GMRS. Now, ham radio,
I love it. I love it. I went to a big city, Jacksonville, and I brought my valve thing, and I was just VFO scanning, and I found some guys talking. Turned out it was a GMRS repeater, and I was like, oh man. So I'm in a hotel room, and I dialed it up like a boss. I actually got the PL tone off of it. I did the PL tone scan. I programmed it by hand. I called back. I said, hey man, you're my first GMRS contact ever. And I did it with a Baofeng only because I heard you on RX and I had to program it in by hand. And he's like, dude, that is so awesome.
Yeah. So I think GMRS is kind of like the gateway drug to ham radio for some people. I've seen that in Denton County at least. But
Yeah.
I have a real concern, just being an emergency management as a volunteer, of people not being prepared with an emergency communications plan. And that's where I see GMRS really shines, because not everybody in your family is going to go to ham radio. I'm an extra class ham. I know that 141 degrees was the correct answer, and I know Chevy Chef Felter has a ripple in the passband with a sharp cutoff. I memorized those answers, and those were the correct answers for the test. So I aced the extra test, but it's not the test that and the studying to get the licenses where I learn things. It's by actually practical application and moving in the hobby itself. That's where I learn things. I learn
All right,
things.
but
from,
so
like,
What you got,
Michael,
I don't
Grouch?
learn where I'm studying on a test.
What you got,
Michael,
Grouch?
all right. So are you familiar with the Channel 3 protocol?
So go ahead with that. I'm sorry.
Okay. So the Channel 3 protocol is actually it's a really cool thing that was developed by this group called Amron.
Right, I've heard of them.
MRON.
Mhm.
Now, while I 100% vehemently fucking disagree with 90% of the tenets of the organization, they have this thing called the Channel 3 protocol that I very much agree with. And that is, so the ham radio operator, because you're licensed, you have the ability to relay information from Channel 3 on CB, Channel 3 on FRS, Channel 3 on GMRS, to anything on HF, VHF, UHF. Okay? And
Okay.
so the Channel 3 protocol is that the ham radio operator is listening on Channel 3 of CB, Channel 3 on GMRS, Channel
Right.
3 on FRS. And you can then relay your local community traffic to the ham community traffic on HF. And I think that that is a fantastic protocol for all ham radio operators to kind of take a part of, right? Because let's face it, if we're in ham radio, we're not opposed to CB, we're not opposed to GMRS, we're not opposed to FRS, but that's not our primary mode, right?
Right.
And so if we're then the hub for our local community to communicate with us on those frequencies, and then we can communicate globally and relay the information down through those other networks. Like it's a very simple kind of system that everybody can get on board with, where you just know, okay, I don't have a license, but I'm gonna, on this family radio, fucking radio, I'm gonna just go to Channel 3 and I'm gonna say, hey, listen, there's a flood and I'm in fear of a washout. Can anybody help me?
Right.
And there's a ham radio operator on the other end that says, yes, let me relay what you're saying. Right?
Yeah.
And so in theory, it increases the spectrum that somebody who's not licensed can communicate information through. And we act as that conduit.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I mean, I think that there's a lot of value to that.
And there is, but at the same time, I'm looking at the hurricane that went into Western South Carolina. And we all know that's in the news again because they're finally getting federal help that they should have got ages ago. But I listened to the repeater there through Broadcastify, and there were plenty of people getting in there. I'm not a ham license, but I have somebody's body that's up in a tree right now. I need help taking care of this person's body to bring some closure to the family. You know, it was a lot of emergency traffic happening over ham radio, which was perfectly legal in my eyes. If there is an emergency or something, and you're in a disaster situation, you need help, and you have no other means of doing it, absolutely get on a ham radio. We can use any frequency in the United States if it's an emergency.
Sure,
And,
we
and,
can because we know how to.
Yes, that's part of it. A lot of these people are preppers and they get HF radio gear and stuff, and they don't.
And they're so
because they're
not
like,
practiced
I don't need
in
a
it.
license if it's an emergency, if it's a prepper deal. I'm like, you're going to blow your radio up. It's going to be useless to you if you don't know what you're doing. And plus, part of the thing of being a ham radio operator, and this is where we're trying to get GMRS operators up to stuff with it, is you don't know how to use a radio. You don't know the cadence of being an effective communicator with a radio. And that's what I really push people to get a ham radio. But I also push that their families are on GMRS. Because that's to take care of their families. Ham radio is to take care of your community. And the only way you're going to be able to reach out in a situation like that, when cell phones are useless, your landlines are useless, it's going to be ham radio. And I'm sorry, that's it. And a few of us have access to public safety radios, but even that, if you see a cop bleeding on the ground because he was shot, you have every right to get on his radio and call for help. And that's what's beautiful about the way the laws are in the United States is if there's an emergency, you can use any frequency to get that taken care of. And
now, I mean,
but
obviously,
your skill
you
level
would hope
to be a ham radio operator. Obviously,
yeah, you would hope that you're using your own radio and you're not using the dead radio, or I'm sorry, the radio on a dead fucking cop.
Right.
To be like, hey, I got a dead cop here. This is what's going on.
Yeah.
Right.
But I come from a different angle because I am a volunteer with emergency management here in my county. So,
but so as an emergency management guy, right? Like you should have the Channel 3 protocol known throughout your land.
Go ahead, preach it, Dre.
Yeah, no, I am all for having emergency plans in there. Denton County, we have what's called the DICE plan, which is the
Hold on, Michael, pause.
Yes.
Grouch, teach everybody about Channel 3 protocol.
Yeah, he just went through it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, so I mean, Ape posted the link in the chat.
Oh, we got an actual link. I'm sorry, I'm catching up.
Yeah. No, he knows.
Go ahead, Michael. I apologize.
He knows exactly what we're talking about. But
FRS3, GMRS3.
It's a Channel 3 project.
3.
What's the VHF frequency? The Channel 3 protocol has it on every band.
Well, so it's CB Channel 3, which is 26.985 megahertz. It's FRS GMRS Channel 3,
correct,
which is 462.6125 megahertz.
6125.
Yep, and MURS Channel 3, which is 151.940 megahertz. You don't use any subcodes or anything. It's just straight up. You're on Channel 3 and you're calling for help.
There are HF versions of Channel 3. Right? Am I wrong?
HF?
Yeah. No, there's HF Channel 3 like areas.
So what is the HF Channel 3?
Yeah, I don't know that one at all.
Let's see. That might not be it.
Because as far as I know, I mean, it's just the ham radio operator is monitoring Channel 3 on FRS, GMRS, and CB and relaying that information for the local community to the ham community.
That's good information to have, and that's probably something we need to have in our communications plan. Denton County, as far as the VHF, UHF, we have what we call the DICE plan, which didn't in case of emergency. And so, like channel 1 is our primary repeater. It's 300 watts, and it's got voters inside and outside the county. So I can get there with an HT if there's no storms in the area. Then you have channel 2, which is the talk around frequency for that same repeater. So say that repeater has something crash into and destroy it, or lightning strike, you name it. Then we can use the talk around. Channel 3 is our 1.7 repeater, which is the backup repeater for that 9.2 repeater that we have, the 146 on 9.2.
Here it is.
Yeah.
We also use area repeaters, such as the one that's near me is the 147.38. And that's actually listed with the weather service if we need to use that repeater. It's a lot lower than the 300 watt repeater that we have on top of a skyscraper. So I can't see that unless you make it big on the screen. Let me see. I'm checking from the.
Yeah, and so for Steven in the chat and even James, right? So it's channel 3, regardless. And even Marine channel 3. Like if you
Marine channel 3 is serious shit.
Yeah, but if you're a ham radio operator in the case of an emergency and you're operating under the channel 3 protocol, you want to be able to monitor every channel 3 that is available. So that's channel 3 on GMRS, FRS, channel 3 on Marine, channel 3 on
156.8.
Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, you want to be monitoring all of those frequencies.
Here,
so you can relay information.
So it's actually this plan is called the 333 plan right here.
Yes.
Wham.
Yes.
That's what I was trying to do.
Yep.
This is called the 333 plan. And this includes everybody on the face of the planet, including unlicensed people.
Yep. And that's so that you can better help the unlicensed individuals that are in dire straits. Like you look at the hurricane that came through fucking North Carolina and Tennessee.
Yeah.
Like, dude, they didn't have anything. They had a couple repeaters. They had HF, and that was pretty much it. But there was people that were on regular fucking, GMRS radios that they bought at Walmart in a blister pack, and they didn't know any better.
I'll let you pass, Steven.
Right, but they're reaching out, and the ham radio operators are the ones that need to be listening. That's my point.
Yeah, and I'm in agreement with that. We're not different on that.
This is a beautiful band plan for emergencies.
Like
this should not be taken lightly.
It's so great.
And I want to point out how many free band frequencies there are on CB.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. I want 4 radios, maybe 5 in my vehicle.
You know what? You know what I love the best is talking to a seasoned ham radio operator that has no experience in the actual freedom HF world. And then you tell them about like the free band, but not only tell them, but tune a radio lower and higher of CB, you're going to hear twice as much than you would on the actual allocated country code CB, because free band is a real thing, and there's nothing against the law to listening to it, guys.
Right.
There's nothing against the law to listening to free band.
So my bottom line is,
with your HF radio, nothing against the law, because they all do it. Go ahead, Michael. Sorry.
So my bottom line is that every family and groups, friends, whatever, you need to have an emergency communications plan. And I know the term that emergencies can be kind of daunting and kind of prepper extreme sometimes. But guys, I went without power for 4 hours today. We had a substation that went down. And I went without power, without internet, without cellular. The cellular system went down today. Again. I can't tell you how many times, or within the last 6 months, how many times my cellular system's gone down, and how important it is that you, as a head of a family or just your family in general, needs to have some kind of communications plan going on, because there's nothing worse than get in a situation and you can't talk to each other.
Yep.
So that's my soapbox. I'll step off of it right now, but you need to
Come
think
on.
your
You got
family.
more soap.
Oh, I got a lot of soap. I got a whole ocean of foam coming. So, but
I want to
please.
I want to pretend I want to stop pretending that using my ham radio to talk to FRS or GMRS is like causing harm. Is that a good way to put that?
Yeah.
I just think that you need now the means. I'm not going to even address the means.
It's okay, Michael.
I'm not going to. I
It's
had
okay.
GMRS Part 95 radios in my radio cache here, but it's more about of make sure you have a way to communicate with each other.
Oh yeah, no, and that's the bottom line to this silly argument that we always, you know, just play around the bush. You're not gonna stop me, FCC. You're not gonna stop me, ARRL. You're not gonna stop me.
I was on the phone with them today, and they're like, "Well, we don't know much about GMRS." I'm like, "Okay, I get the politics on that." Because I was trying to change my address to privatize my call sign location, all that. But just we need to get over the politics of stuff and look at the practical application of stuff. I'm a practical application guy. Now, I've learned a lot of engineering being in the ham radio for a long time. But at the same time, the bottom line is you need to take care of yourself and your family. You need to take care of your community. You need to take care of your neighbors. You need to educate them. Try to share as much as you can with them. I'll tell you what, I have bought so many weather radios for neighbors just so they know if something's about to come crashing down on them and the city sirens are down. So, I mean, I just feel a deep obligations of taking care of those that surround you. So. That's my bottom line. We can get into the semantics of what's legal, what's not. I get that. I try to stay in the legal realm as much as I can, try to play in the right sandbox. But at the end of it, it's
the appropriate time.
Do everything I can.
The appropriate time to do what is right will cross you, and it is become like a moral thing at this juncture, right? I don't pretend like what I do with my radios follows a black and white scripture. No, because I'm an experimenter, and I'm a scientist, and I'm a ham radio amateur operator, and I've been given this ability, and also it's not a right at the same time, just like a driver's license is not a right.
But wait, what does it take to call yourself a scientist?
Anyone
I
that
would
can
love to think that I'm a scientist.
I can show you
like, am I a scientist?
Technically, yeah, but technically, no.
Do you question math?
I mean, I don't know half the shit that fucking Ape knows. Ape is a
Do you-
fucking genius.
Do you
But-
question math? I'm trying to
Dude,
give you an easy out, Grouch.
I question
you're beating me up
everything,
here.
bro.
Okay,
I question
perfect.
everything.
All right, so
Everything.
that is scientific endeavor, is it not?
Well, yeah, because you got to prove your fucking method.
You don't have to prove it. That's the beautiful part about it.
Well,
you just have to show that it's unexplained.
Science is meant to be questioned. It's not always proven.
Yes, it is. But at the same time, what Ziggy said,
I thought I won this argument right here.
Yeah, he did.
Whatever.
But in all reality, you don't have to explain it. You don't. Why?
Well, I don't have to be able to explain it, but I have to explain my rationale for coming to the conclusion that I've come to. And then other people can then, interpret their own results and come to a different conclusion. But like, is it science if you truly don't understand the fundamentals of what the fuck you're looking at?
But Grouch, it really doesn't matter if you understand the fundamentals.
Okay, because I don't.
Do you understand
Colin,
the
dude,
concept?
I've dropped you like 6 links, bro. What? You don't have to come in like video. I just want to hear your voice. Come on. What the shit?
Oh yes, come on, Colin.
Come
on, Colin.
I've been fishing this big old trout for like 30 minutes. He just won't bite.
I need to start watching my big TV monitor over here because when I came out on the link, I'm not seeing any comments.
Colin, I promise I'll delete the stream. I promise.
No, you won't.
Yeah, I will. If I can hear this man's voice, I'll delete the stream. Swear to God.
Is an amazing individual, by the way.
Well, thank you.
I mean, I really value his input.
I know you're not talking about me, but I'm appalled. So I'm just gonna take credit where credit is due.
Oh wow, Ziggy, you opened them wide open.
What did I do?
Comments.
Huh?
So.
All right.
Listen,
I gotta say, me and the ape, we gotta get together because that man.
Oh God, that's gonna be scary.
He is so far beyond my comprehension. I feel like I could just learn so much.
Why do you think I drink so much beer, Grouch?
Dude, I switched to fucking whiskey. Cheers, bro.
No, I'm talking about me in particular.
I'm a fucking idiot, bro.
No. Hold on. Let's back it up.
Okay. Because I mean, like, you can't be dumber than a fucking Marine grunt.
Who, me?
Yeah.
So I've got a color, I've got a colorful cascade of
Can I eat it?
Brain wiring.
Can I eat it? Like what flavor are those colors? Because that's what I'm about, bro. Like, give me some fucking crayons. Let me eat that shit.
I suffer from myself on a daily basis. But what's great about my disabilities throw my radio understanding. It's kind of like having Konami codes sometimes. It feels like
I'm left, right, A, B, A, B.
Yeah. Starts. Yeah.
Yeah.
It feels like cheating sometimes because I understand.
That's what that is. Yeah. Up, down, left, right, A, B, A, B.
Every day.
What I'm saying is Zigmont here does not process things properly. That's what I'm trying to get to. And I've recently seen something on TikTok. Not TikTok. It was Instagram. I'm sorry. That was embarrassing. But it was a short nonetheless. So it could have been from anywhere. But it showed the outside perspective of ADHD people. And I was like, I didn't get the joke until like the 30-second clip was over. And I was like, oh shit. I really disappoint people because I forget what I'm doing. I thought it was hilarious. I had never seen what normal people see of ADHD people before, and especially me because I skip letters, which means that my dyslexia is like off the chart. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I'm diagnosed ADHD, just to let you know. So that part explains a lot.
Yeah. Hey, welcome to the fucking ADHD crew.
There you go.
Did you get Ritalin or Adderall? Hold on, that's a big one. I bet you got Adderall, didn't you? You're out.
Adderall.
Yeah. See, he was the first gen, and they got the real shit, and they gave me the soft shit that was like long term. No. And here's the thing: I'm not even gonna lie. Like all the dudes that got the Adderall would trade me 2-to-1 for the Ritalin. I'm like, what are you doing with that? And they're like, we're snorting this shit. I was like, whoa, really? You guys snorted? And they're like, yeah, watch. And they just blast it up on the desk with the fucking. Anyway.
Yeah, I didn't trade drugs.
They're like, no, because they were like, I should have been given the Adderall, and they should have been given the Ritalin properly, but they do it in reverse because they're trying to combat addiction. Right. So they're ill prescribing medication to fight a cause that doesn't exist. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
And yeah.
What's up, Chris?
All right. Sorry, Chris. I'm going to interrupt you for just a second.
No.
Let me tell you how the VA is so fucked.
Oh, no. Chris.
I already know this.
The Adderall fucking worked perfectly. It fucking made me like a normal fucking human being. Right? Where I could actually fucking function and make sense in a normal fucking human being sense. But the VA can't regulate their medication prescribing of fucking controlled substances on a fucking schedule. And so I would go like weeks without it. And I would fucking be insane. All right, Chris, go ahead.
No,
ADHD and ADD are not the same.
Well, ADHD was not around when I was younger, when I was diagnosed.
Yeah, exactly. Same difference. Chris, what you got?
Anyways, guys, I gotta hit the hay because 6 a.m. comes pretty damn early. I'm taking the guy out for breakfast and all that for his first quota. Okay. I'm gonna treat him to a fun time in the snow capital of Wisconsin this week. And we're supposed to get a blizzard tomorrow, so I'll be playing out in a blizzard while I'm doing this.
Yes.
Awesome,
I'll come to
bring the ice house, bro.
Let us know. And
we're doing it all from the car.
Let us know the trip and follow what frequency you're on.
Oh, I will.
See, I'm going to put a video out tomorrow, and I have no clue when I'm going to put it out yet. But
all right, Chris, for everybody that doesn't know who the fuck you are, give your call sign so we can throw it in the chat. Throw in your ham alert right the fuck now. Go ahead, Chris.
It's right
call
there
sign is KD9YSW Kilo Delta 9 Yankee Sierra Whiskey. The channel is Chris Radio Life. I post mostly shorts, and I'll do a video here and there. I'll be doing one on my Go Box as soon as I start working on it. And watch for the video posting with a guy. The other call sign to look for is WB9X, Whiskey Bravo 9 X-Ray. He's never done a POTA. He's done a lot of HF, but he's never done a POTA. So we'll get him out there tomorrow.
Yeah, POTA's crack, man. It's a lot of fun. I've done 2 of them. and both with Prep and Paul. So, but
You guys-
and kudos to the guy that is doing the POTA for the first time, because let me tell you, like the first time I ever did a POTA, I did it with Eric N1JUR, and I knew nothing about fucking POTA. And he was like, "Hey, just come out and just hang out with me." And I learned so much in that fucking like short time that I spent out with him.
Mhm.
And I was hooked. Hooked.
It's fun. It's fun.
Dude, I fucking love POTA.
Yeah, I was sitting
The
in
whole-
with Paul, and we were in his pickup truck, and we went to Black Friday, and I ended up getting a radio too. I didn't put that on my channel, but we at HRO, because it was too good of a deal to pass, and we went to a park near the HRO, the ham radio outlet, and just in his truck, he did some, and I did some. I had 11 contacts. Man, that was so much fun. Next time we went out, we went to a state park, and I got 51 contacts, and I could have kept going and going, but I wanted Paul to have a chance too. And I run 100 watts. No, I was running 100 watts. He was running a QRP rig. That wasn't quite fair, so I kind of walked away. And he didn't do as well that time, but man, that was just so cool. I'm talking to people up in Minnesota, and California, all up and down California, and then New Jersey, Connecticut, and for somebody that doesn't get on HF very often, that was so incredibly fun, and I think that's the point of POTA. And
biggest
what
thing
was
that we're gonna
cool
do-
was when we showed up, there was another guy running POTA already there, and we got to meet him, and he's got a YouTube channel as well. So,
well, I'm going to be going on the local state here, get my state sticker thing taken care of, and we'll probably do Ice Age Trail or one of the parks that's real close. I mean, I drive within 45 minutes of my house. I got 10 parks I can play with.
nice.
So it's pretty decent. But we also have the Ice Age Trail that runs a couple different places.
Mhm.
But that's what we're going to do tomorrow. I'm going to go and take care of that park sticker and basically fall asleep. Granted, like the Grouch, I get about 5 hours of sleep a day. It's just the way it is. You work third shift, that's what happens.
That's a military life, bro.
I know.
Completely inconsistent, and I wasn't in the military, and I talked to we have a guy. He's my Elmer. Gerald is his name. He's 81 years old. We call him the Godfather of Denton County, because anything that happens in radio in Denton County, he's had his hand in it. But he and I both wish we were in the military, but life was different back then. For me, it was in the 90s. Him, it was Vietnam, and he tried to go in several times, but he had a kid, and they kind of kept him out, and it was just a situation at the time. So, but I salute those that have served, and really appreciate it. And I don't mean that lightly, because you hear that often day in and day out, but for me, it's such a deep thing to be able to serve your country like that. So
Correct.
So
nope, I've done my time in corrections. I've done my time on an ambulance, and I've done my time in everything else. And I've done a couple other things that, well, I just can't talk about. And Grouch knows exactly what I'm talking about. But, it's part of life. We all have different hats that we've worn over the years, and
different experiences for different folks.
Yep.
Yeah.
Different strokes for different folks.
You serve in some capacity.
There you go.
And I also understand the whole Grouch with the whole what flavor crayons is going on, because there's some days, I chew on some too. and they're not always green.
Now, sometimes they're white chocolate.
Yeah, exactly. And sometimes they're yellow. But
yeah.
Yeah, we're
you
not
know,
gonna
yeah, we are.
go.
The snow is always good to melt down for your water needs, and heck, if it snows another 3 to 4 inches tomorrow, awesome sauce for me. Well, the radials are already packed up, and the ham stick is leaning up against the wall on my way out the door. Now I just
Yeah.
got to move the battery over there. So
Chris,
go ahead.
as I previously stated in the last live stream on Prep and Paul, like, dude, if you want to fucking jump in on the Weekend Warriors, bro, I'm happy to have you. Like,
All right.
you're a fucking warrior just as much as the rest of us. Like, we're just fucked up, and we're just talking
Yeah, we
shit,
are.
right? Like, we're just fucked
Correct.
up. We're talking shit. That's all it is. So
We'll
if
see
you
how
want to
I'm
join the
feeling
live
tomorrow.
stream tomorrow, fucking come have drinks with us. I'm gonna get shit faced. I don't give a fuck.
You know what, Grouch? We'll see what's going on. We'll see how I feel after being out in that weather. You know how it goes. And Ziggy, I'm
What?
gonna have to I'll ping you on Zigcord or on Discord one of these days about that
Hamcord.
75. Besides Hamcord, you see what I put on
Oh.
there?
No. I thought we were done, and then somebody wanted to fire that shit back up again.
Fucking ham court, dude. It's just fucking going crazy.
I was done
just-
with ham
I'll-
court at
I'll-
10:04 p.m. and here we are.
Sorry, I did it 10:05 was the last one. So yes, a ham
Perfect.
stick.
Perfect. No,
I'm
no,
taking a
I'll
ham
still skip
stick.
it.
But
What'd you say
know,
in ham court?
Oh, I'm the last one. Just go see it. You'll laugh.
All right. So wait a minute. Are you oh, you're okay, Chris. You're team defense. Okay.
Dude,
Okay. All
I
right.
wish I could share with you.
See, what's funny, Chris, is that you
the-
think I'm his defense attorney. This is a kangaroo court, my friend.
I know.
Oh my god.
We're gonna make a big hubbub and pull a bunch of money because Doge ain't found us yet.
Oh, jeez.
I wish that I could send you the fucking shit that was just sent to me in Discord.
Oh,
'Cause
bro, I
it's
already
fucking
got it.
hilarious.
I already got it. Don't you
No,
worry about it.
you didn't get it because you're not in the Flag and Torch Society.
Oh, jeez.
All right. So
I'm probably not worthy though.
No. So the Flag and Torch Society is it's all military and veterans,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And so this motherfucker, he just sent me a Valentine's. And it
Colin
says,
said, "Stop blaming the kangaroos."
oh my god, dude! This Valentine, it says, "You take my breath away."
God.
It's got a picture of fucking. Oh my god, fucking George Floyd, right? It's got a picture of George Floyd. It says, "You take my breath away."
Maybe it's bedtime.
And it's 2N10G, and it's from KO6 XBXH. I'm sorry. You take my breath away with George Floyd.
Yeah.
It's fucking hilarious. I'm sorry. All right.
Yeah.
You
You
take my
guys-
breath away. You take my
Oh,
breath
geez.
away. All of you. You take my breath away.
Okay.
You guys.
I
guys
can't
have fun.
breathe. I can't breathe.
Oh, jeez.
Oh,
Send out the APRS beacons.
Please. But you guys have a good night. 7-3 all.
Well, hey, let us
Enjoy.
know what you're on. Just help spot you so we can try to
Oh.
see if we can contact you.
Don't worry. I will be posting where I'm at. I'll be doing the POTA page. I'll be doing it'll probably go right to the clubhouse one. I'll be putting it on Prep and Paul's thing.
Yeah.
And we'll just be sharing it everywhere because I want to get as many people as possible to hit up this guy that literally has never done a POTA. I mean, he literally searches the bands and hits people on POTAs, but he never has actually participated in one.
Yeah.
And the last guy I tried taking him out was being a real douche. So we're gonna have some fun.
Yeah. And I think that's a lot of it is hams helping hams learning stuff. I got a lot to learn. I got a lot that can teach too. So I mean, it's just part of the hobby is the community. And
Chris, if you want to jump in the Weekend Warriors tomorrow live stream,
I'll send you a message.
Let me know. I'll send you the link, bro.
Sounds good.
You're more than welcome. Yeah.
And Michael,
yes,
remember,
sir.
Find somebody that has literally set up a repeater with either 50 ohm or 75 ohm. It doesn't matter. Coax. Just go.
Well, they've never done it with 75 ohm. That's
yes, they have.
I'm sure it's out there. All the repeater sites I've worked on.
Not a repeater.
Not a repeater.
Zig, I'll send you pictures.
Yes.
I'll send you pictures.
Oh, you've got proof?
I got proof.
Oh, man. That's what I'm talking about. Chris pulling through.
It helps to have somebody that's worked on ham radio stuff for 20 years that is guiding you through your ham radio adventure. The other bad thing is...
Oh, you got an Elmer.
Yeah, I got an Elmer that's younger than me.
Oh, really? My Elmer.
Yeah.
That's not an Elmer.
That guy is amazing.
Yes,
that's a friend. No, that's a friend.
That's a friend.
Right.
A very good
Elmer,
friend.
and Elmer has to be older than you.
And now he's getting me in the Mesh-tastic on top of it. So that's even worse.
Right. Yeah. And Elmer would never get you into Mesh-tastic. So that's a friend.
Yeah, that's a
friend. My Elmer not only teaches me about ham radio, he teaches me about the politics around radio.
My Elmer did 7 tours, so screw all your Elmers. My Elmer is so hard, dude. Like, to go over to his house requires 2 phone calls and security measures.
You guys have a good night.
You too, Chris. Take care, sir.
Take care.
75s, Chris.
Have fun.
I love this view of Grouch's new camper.
I just love that he has a camper, man. That to me just says adventure. I'm like a dreamer of getting into the RV life, just to get out there and
turn up something. Go yell at the kitty
and have that nomad experience.
Hold on.
So we miss Chris. Do I have control of 75 ohms channel? Oh, this is awesome. Grouch is gone. It's all me, man. Ziggy, I don't know if you know what you got yourself into here, sir. Oh, he's back. I gotta behave now. That's dangerous. You left the channel to myself. That's pretty dangerous, sir.
Why? I trust you.
I didn't do too much damage. But yeah, it's getting late here, sir. I don't know where you reside, but it's 11:10 p.m. in Central Time Zone right now.
Yeah, well, it's 12:01.
Oh wow, 12:01. Where are you?
DeSantis.
Okay. According to my work clock here, and I'm working while I'm talking to y'all. That's why you're seeing the different view here. So I'm on my desk now. 10 after 11. So, Grouch, can you hear me? Or is he plugging back in there?
No, he's coming back.
I'm sorry. What did I miss?
Nothing.
Nothing.
All right.
We just gave away your life story.
Dude, I just kicked over the fucking dog's water bowl.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, it spilled all over the fucking carpet in the trailer. God damn it.
So, Grouch, where are you right now? And what are your travel plans? Or are you going to be stationary for a while?
All right. So I'm currently stationary in Brookline, New Hampshire. This is where I'm going to be until mid-April.
Okay.
Mid-April, I'm going to roll out to Florida for the month of May. I'm gonna
You gonna come by here?
Yeah, bro. I'm gonna hang out in Florida for the month of May.
Like, where's your first stop in Florida?
So no, it's one stop. It's New Smyrna.
New Smyrna Beach?
Yes, New Smyrna Beach. Stopping in New Smyrna Beach for the month of May. And then I'll be headed north for a little bit. I'm going to drop my family off back in New Hampshire. And then I'm headed to Indiana, where I'm going to do my skydive fucking Class A license certification. Hopefully, Carlos has got some free time on his hands. He's gonna come help me out, life at terminal velocity. And yeah, we're gonna skydive. We're gonna have a fucking shit ton of fun. And then I can't wait to go to Huntsville. And when we go to Huntsville, I'm gonna fucking skydive, bro. Like, Carlos has got a new buddy. Like, that's all I gotta say. Carlos has got a new buddy.
Yeah, I met him on the air. I met him on HF because we had a class of people take their general exam and pass. And Carlos was the one on the other end. When I was searching around, I found him doing a POTUS station. I said, "Hey, I don't know you, but will you do me a solid and talk to these new people? These people that are just now getting their stroke AG." And he talked to everyone and really was a big cheerleader for him. So I appreciate Carlos. That's how I met him. It was on HF.
Let me tell you. So, Carlos, I cannot rave enough about how awesome of a fucking man he is. So he's a veteran. He doesn't like to talk about it, but he is a veteran. And
that's a whole topic.
Yeah. But like, on that regard, I posted something in the Discord.
All right, give me a second.
And I said, "Hey, listen, I've been struggling recently, personally. My next video is coming up, blah blah blah, but like, it's going to be a little bit delayed, blah blah." But just the simple fact that I said that I was struggling personally for a brief period of time, Carlos called me. He called me, and we exchanged numbers a while back, but he called me and he said, "Hey, listen, bro, I'm concerned. Like, you said some things that had me worried, and I want to make sure you're all right." And let me tell you, from a veteran standpoint, like, having someone else reach out and say, "Hey, I understand where you're coming from because I've been where you've been and I've done the things you've done. And I just want to make sure you're okay." Like, that is so huge. It's huge. It was literally, it was what I needed exactly when I needed it. Like I was at the moment where I was really, really, truly struggling to find the will to continue. Right. And that's, I mean, for every military veteran, okay, like the ultimate goal is the will to continue. It's finding that greater purpose, something above ourself that is more important. And so there's no reason to check out.
Right.
There's no reason to check out because there is a greater purpose. And for me, for the last, I don't know, 6 years or so, that greater purpose has been the VFW. That's where I put my heart, soul, and fucking mind, was into the VFW.
Right.
And the VFW is a great organization as a whole. However, there are a lot of intricacies that come into play at the local level that aren't there at the national level. And so I was post commander for 3 years, and I took the post that I was commander of from a post that was focused solely on the bar and making money at the bar to a post that was focused on doing community efforts. We would set up tables at the Winter Carnival. We would set up tables at the Halloween event, right? And my idea of it was like, it was fishing for treats. And so I gave what I did was I gave all the kids, there was 4 ice fishing rod and reels.
Right.
And the kid would cast this ice fishing rod and reel. It's the rod and reel is short, the line is short, everything is short, right? Because it's ice fishing, everything is short. But then the kid would get to reel in like some candy or a candy bag, and it would be a treat. And so it was a really cool community event that we got to participate in. And I organized it, I arranged it, I functioned it. I also did this huge suicide prevention event where I gathered all of the local nonprofits that did anything for veterans. I mean, anything. Like, we had equine therapy, we had normal therapy, we had fly fishing, regular fishing. Like, I mean, literally anything and everything. It was a nonprofit organization designed to help veterans.
Right.
And I put them all in one room. And I invited everybody in the community that was a veteran to come and listen to what these organizations had to offer to veterans. And it was very successful. I did it for 2 years. And then I started taking on responsibilities at the district level. So instead of 1 post, well, now I had 8 posts. So I had 7 in addition to the post that I was running.
Mm-hmm.
And lo and behold, holy fucking shit, there was so much corruption in these posts that, like, there was people that had been there in the past and they had done what they had done, but like, instead of bolstering the post bank account, they bolstered their personal bank account. And it didn't quite make sense to me. It wasn't logical. It wasn't rational. It didn't make sense. It was like, well, how are these individual people profiting when we're supposed to be helping veterans?
Right.
Right? And it didn't make sense. I didn't understand it. Well, the reason was because they were skimming off the top. And so they were profiting on the backs of veterans in need. And I was like, God, how could this be? Like, this isn't right. So we need to change the organization as a whole to benefit the community and the community in need instead of the individual in need. But I hit such a brick wall at the state level. Like, I got frustrated. I got fed up. And I said, you know what? Like, I'll be honest. My marriage is falling apart. My home life is falling apart. And that is priority number one.
Right.
Priority number two is that everything I'm doing with the VFW is falling apart because of people who just don't have the right priorities. They're not prioritizing their community. They're not prioritizing the veterans in need. They're prioritizing themselves. Well, that just doesn't make sense in my mind. And so I left the post and what I thought was good hands. And I said, you know what? I'm going to be district commander. And I'm going to take everything that I've learned at the post level and I'm going to distribute it across my district. So I went from 1 post to 8 posts. And while in 7 of the 8 posts, I was successful in implementing community-based fucking focused programs where these posts stopped focusing on the bars and they started focusing on things that mattered. And that was taking care of the veterans in their communities, taking care of the homeless in their communities, taking care of the people in need in their communities, and not focusing on themselves. And it worked fantastic. Until I reached the post that I couldn't get through to. And this post, they owned their own building, but they also owned a bingo hall. And the bingo hall was the corruption. And it was the corruption of the post. Because everybody in the post had their hands in the pot of the bingo hall. And so everybody's profiting in some way. They obviously don't want to do things the right way. They don't want to do things legally and right for the veterans because they were personally profiting. And I get it. But I came in and I was like, yeah, time out, motherfuckers. No, guess what? You're not getting your paychecks anymore because your paychecks are fucking illegal. And so I put a squash to that, and it got to the point where I was stretched too thin. I was stretched too thin between what I was trying to do with the VFW and what I was trying to also do with my family, with a young teenager. My youngest son was just coming into his teenage years. And I couldn't be in both places at the same time equally. So I left the VFW, and I tried to focus on my home life.
Right.
Now here we are. We're almost a year and a half later. I'm living in a camper, Mike. Look at it. It's fucking beautiful, right? I'm living in a camper. My wife and my son are living in the house that I pay for. Mortgage is in my name.
Ooh.
It's my house.
Oh, come
You
on.
know? No, it's my house.
No. We all know that's the thing.
Yeah.
Yep. And we'll see where this fucking ends when the end comes. But
I'll tell you what. You being in that camper outside of your house might be the detriment to the case.
100%, and I know it.
Yeah.
And
Well,
I know it.
I just got through with my divorce, so I can empathize with you on a lot of things, but man,
It's my second marriage.
Second
It's
marriage.
my second marriage.
I don't know if I'm going to have the second one, honestly, but I think you touched on some points there, and it's something that we all crave and we need to have in our lives. We need to have community.
Yes.
Because we absolutely cannot do anything on our own. That's what I love about the ham radio hobby. It is not something you do on your own. And people that think that or kind of go that direction, they're going to find that it's not so easy that direction. So,
Yeah, you don't do it on your own.
Yeah, well,
it takes a village.
So my videos on my channel, if you haven't watched my channel yet, is
I just subscribed, by the way.
Oh, thank you so much. But I always say I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm having fun doing it. I'm not always having fun doing it, but I don't know what I'm doing in most of my life, and I think that if you really think at the core of things, nobody knows what they're doing in their life, but they're doing the best that they can, and they're doing where they can be placed and do what they can. So I think that's very important. Community is extremely important, and I value that. And not only my YouTube community, but just friends around. You know, Paul was one I drug kicking the screaming into the YouTube community. Now he's doing well at it. So I think he has there.
Yeah, he's doing fantastic. He's doing a great job.
So, you know, and I have another friend, Marcy, and I talked to her on the phone today when I didn't have power all day long. That was annoying not to have power, and there's so much to do. I didn't even have internet. I didn't even have cellular internet. The cell phone system went down. So,
oh damn!
But all else fails. Ham radio, right?
When all else fails, ham radio is the answer.
And trust me, I was on ham radio, and I was also on GMRS. It was working too. So
yeah.
But you know, and you know, we checked on some of our older hams that are not doing as well. You know, some retired firefighters that need you know a lot of attention and stuff. So, and that was my day today. You know, 4 hours of no power. That was not fun. It wasn't fun for me. But you know what? I have the community, and I really appreciate that community. And I think the VFW for you is a community, and I think that's so important. So,
yeah, 100%. The VFW is so the way I equate it, right, is so the Marine Corps, which I am a Marine, right, but the Marine Corps is the elite of the elite, right? And the VFW of the veteran service organizations, the VFW is the elite of the elite. Because in order to qualify for the, you have had to have had boots on the ground in a combat zone, right?
Right.
Not many people can say that they have had boots on the ground in a combat zone. And so that's where the VFW, like, you've had boots on the ground in a combat zone. So you're more elite than the guy that was in the National Guard and he was stationed stateside the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Right? No, it's not to diminish what that guy did. Because what that guy did was crucial to what we did overseas. But in the grand scheme of things, right? Like, dude, you weren't there. Like, you didn't see the shit in Afghanistan. You know, you were in fucking New Jersey looking through a fucking vision thing while you flew your drone and you fucking, bombed a fucking shit ton of people. And well, I will have a lot of respect for people that have flown drones and have killed people with drones. But there's a big difference between killing somebody with a drone
and killing somebody
and looking at a child
or somebody in their eye.
Right.
Is what you're getting at.
Right.
Right. Because that's pushing a button versus an instinctual thing that we're talking about.
Yeah. And let me tell you, right, on the front line, there are literal children. I shit you not. Children.
10 to 1 more places
8 years
than
old.
you think that they are.
10
to 1. 10 to 1.
I believe that because it was Vietnam.
Right?
I've heard the Vietnam veterans talk about it.
The problem is that the children hide in the commonwealths of traffic.
Well, but the children.
What gets bombed first?
No.
The commonwealths of traffic.
So the children don't know that they were sedated. And that while they were sedated, that there was C4 planted inside their body. And all they have to do is walk up to the fucking local GI unit, whatever unit that is. They just have to walk up to them with a box of DVDs and go, DVD, $3. Yeah. You like the jerky off? Yeah. I got pornography for you. Okay.
This is the sad truth. It's
I'm
not as
telling
cringy.
you.
It's not as cringy as you think it is, because what he's talking about is what he's
This
heard.
is reality.
Right.
This is real.
Right.
Real.
Life is worse than what we're told.
These kids have no understanding. They have no idea.
No, and they have no idea what zero and calibrate is.
No. And so then you're drawing your rifle on a child because he has a box and he's holding a cardboard box in front of him, but you don't know what the fuck's in that box. Dude, that box could be full of C4, or that box could be full of fucking pornos. You don't fucking know.
The issue is
Yeah, go ahead.
So this is my homie. He wants to thank you for your service, Grouch.
Hey, thank you, bro. I enjoyed every minute of my service. I wish I could have done more.
And you do it again.
100%. 100%.
So I tried to join the service twice. I don't think I've talked about this. And both times I was rejected because of my it's not a debilitating thing having ADHD. And in fact,
ADHD, flat feet. Dude, you can't enlist.
No. They rescinded that a
Yeah.
year before the age cutoff for the recension.
Oh, damn, dude. You were that close to 36?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We're letting the whole world know how long it took you to want to enlist.
Who,
Sorry.
me? No. I tried at 21.
But at 36 is the cap.
Where's this 30? Yeah. No, the 36 was the cutoff. What I'm saying is I tried at 21 and they said the ADHD was a no-go.
It is.
And I said, why? And they're like, well, we've got reports here that you took Ritalin in the 3rd grade. And I said, go fuck yourself, dude.
Yeah. But the thing is what happens if you're in the shit and you don't have your Ritalin?
I haven't been on Ritalin since the 3rd grade, Grouch.
Yeah,
I've
but
been
they
on
don't care. They
six
don't
or-
care. They're looking at it as
Hold on. Whoa. I'm not.
fuck.
No, stop.
This guy
Stop.
needs
No.
Ritalin.
Stop. Hold on. We got Jay Beezy coming in hot.
Okay.
I am
Jay
not.
Beezy.
You got to mute your microphone because you got to double. You're listening and streaming at the same time, Jay Beezy.
How am I
You got it?
listening and streaming?
Hold on. Let's teach the newbie here. You got to mute one or the other, but not both. Oh, that's great. So,
Okay, not me.
no, I'm talking to you right now.
Okay. But I don't need to mute.
What?
I don't need to mute, motherfucker.
No,
All right.
motherfucker.
Talk to me, motherfucker.
All right.
All right.
All right.
Go-
Tell me
go.
what it's
The problem wasn't that I am like medicine, like pill, daily medicated dependent. The problem was on the other side of the conversation that I haven't done that medication since 3rd fucking grade, but they had record of it. Why did they have record of me doing Ritalin for like half the year in my 3rd grade?
Because you did it.
But they had access to that record.
Yep. Because you did it.
That's a medical record.
No, but you did it.
No, I was part of the control experiment back in
Oh.
1995.
But you did it.
Dude, I was
How many
back.
times are you going to say I did it? I did it. I'm not saying I didn't do it. What's up, Josh? Oh, shit. Are you,
Is he
are you
muted?
muted?
Hey, yeah, I was
There you
muted
go.
there for a second.
Howdy, Josh. Mike.
Oh, I muted him because of the echo. I'm sorry, Josh.
Oh no, I muted myself because of the echo. I was like, okay, let me figure it out real quick. Gotcha.
Josh, this is a good friend of mine, Chris. Michael.
Hello. I'm Michael with the Getting on Life.
Nice to meet you, Michael.
I do ham radio, but I do other stuff on my channel. So
Ziggy's been trying to get me into the ham thing for a while now, and if I already didn't have so many irons in the fire, I'd be getting into it, which I'm dwindling other irons to get into this.
I got a ham radio for the purpose of the lack of being able to communicate during the situation. Mainly tornadoes dropping in my area, and nobody knew what was going on. So that's what got me in a ham radio. But it's been a pretty fulfilling hobby. It really has. It's a great community. So, but I don't know what your background is, but that's my background. That's how I got into it.
So I'm a mechanic. Josh is obviously just as mechanically inclined. We've been part of the same St. Augustine click group for how's Malia? Almost 20 years now.
I'm an electrician by trade. That's what I specialize in.
Oh, nice. Very cool.
Yeah. He's
Okay.
he can pull his own permits if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I have my own company.
Yeah.
I'm here in Florida.
And
just to let you know, I'm in North Texas.
Oh, all right. Texas.
Howdy, y'all.
Uh-oh, I'm missing somebody. Oh,
Yeehaw.
What's up,
there
y'all?
he is.
In fact, that's how my video started. Howdy, y'all. Michael here.
So
That's right.
primarily, I'm trying to show my friend Josh how easily that we just like voice communicate all over the earth. Like, tell him about like across the pond, like voice communications that you've had in the past specifically.
I've had so many of them. I can't say within the last year because I don't dabble in what they call HF, which is the worldwide bands, as much. Now, Paul, who's a very good friend of mine, and that's how I met your friend here, 75 Ohm. Ziggy. I got to watch saying Ziggy. I got an Alexa device that goes by that. But he's a airline attendant, flight attendant, and he goes to Tokyo all the time. So I talk to him on the radio while he's in Tokyo often.
Wow.
And,
Okay.
And that's a lot of fun. And some of that is you can do some of that with HF, which I don't really talk to him on HF, but some of it is internet leaking using some modern techniques. But every little thing you can do, don't bash or discount it because it's all useful. It's all communication, and that's
Sure.
what I like about the hobby. It's pretty cool that I
Yeah.
can handheld radio and say, "Oh, you're 6,258 miles from me. I can see which direction you're at, exact direction." So that's a lot of fun. But
that's really a beautiful thing, honestly. You know,
It really is.
yeah, and I talk to him often that way, Paul, because Paul's over there all the time, and but I mean, the hobby, you know, a lot of what I do in the hobby is emergency communication. That's been kind of my genre, and we're in Denton County, which is just north of Dallas, Texas, and
Yeah, we need people to do MCOM shit.
yeah,
We really do. Like, there aren't enough people that get out of the military and are like, oh, you know what? I'm going to do fucking MCOM shit.
right.
No, most people that get out of the military are like, fuck anything military related. I want nothing to do with any of it. Right?
I know they go straight AWOL as soon as they're allowed to leave.
Yeah. But honestly, listen, Michael, it is the people like you that are like, listen, let's do some MCOM shit. Let's do some practice. Let's fucking prepare.
Right.
You're the fucking reason that the average civilian is even a quarter fucking prepared. And I shit you not. Like, do the research. Like, it is people like you that are the reason that even a quarter of the people that have the experience that I have are MCOM prepped.
Nice.
And are like, yes, I 100% agree with you. And let's do this.
Right. Thank you.
Right?
right? Cool.
Right. And just to let you know, MCOM, we're going to use
Good to know.
You know, with the military and with anything, we're using a lot of abbreviations and acronyms. So if you're not familiar with MCOM, that means emergency communication. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
Three sources of communication go down. So I was at my son's junior high orchestra concert, and tornadoes were dropping. In fact, they were dropping in the colony. I live in the colony, Texas, which is on the southeast of the county. And afterwards, there was tornadoes dropping in Atlanta, Georgia. Guess what? The news wasn't telling us what was happening around us. We didn't know it was safe to go outside yet.
No, are you guys hitting like tornado shelters and shit?
Well, tornado shelters are not as big as they once were. So
really,
school, we know what part of the school was underground. It was a middle school, And it's
Dude.
like, it was the whole fact that we were uninformed what the heck was going on.
But how the
hold
fuck
on.
are tornado shelters not like a staple?
Well, we had
Like a man cave.
Isn't this
Like-
great, Josh?
Dude, like, why the fuck doesn't everybody have a tornado shelter in your area?
All right.
Because if I dig down like 2 feet, we hit water.
Yeah, it's just
yeah,
mud.
that's it. That's exactly it. And plus clay. We had this tech.
All you people with your basements,
Yeah,
piss
we
off.
can't make basements here. There's no basement in North Texas.
No basements here in Florida.
Michael,
There's
are you
actually
done?
one spot over here in town on Moultrie Bluff where it's about 31 feet above sea level. You could probably have, I know like 1 or 2 houses I've worked in that have had somewhat of a basement. And that's about it.
Right.
Oh my god.
But the county at that particular point in that neighborhood is, they're pumping the ground. Right? Because the shit's got to go below that. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? Am I wrong? Am I wrong?
Florida.
I'm not wrong.
Disney World.
Well, you got to have a pump to work that down there,
No, Disney World. Okay, let's just talk about how they designed Disney World.
Oh yeah.
Hold on. Let's stop there, Michael. I have bigger fish to fry.
But
fuck Disney World. I don't want to talk about Disney World on my channel.
But you're on the second floor when you're out on the park because they had to build the thing up because you can't build down. So all those utilidors or whatever they're calling, all the hallways underground are not underground. They're actually the first floor. They built the whole thing up just like Chicago.
It's called a facade. Yeah.
And they didn't learn from Chicago?
All right, Michael.
Dude, Chicago's still fucked.
God bless America.
Michael and Grouch, I'm calling you to.
I'm in Texas. There's stuff in here that
we know.
Okay.
We know. Michael and Grouch. This is my good friend Josh. He is not a ham radio operator.
Nope.
He does not have a GMRS call sign.
Should do that at minimum.
Josh.
But
hold on.
Why the
There's
fuck
more.
didn't you get
Hold on.
fucking
There's
ham
more.
radio certified?
God damn it. Dude, can I finish?
Ziggy's been getting me into it. I promise. He's gonna have me a ham guy before it's over with.
No, it doesn't matter because he's in my family circle.
Okay.
Anything he needs, he can use my call sign because I am under strict control of his operations. Isn't that right, Josh?
Basically, yeah, you could look at it like that.
If Josh needs to transmit on 75 meters in an emergency,
I go to Ziggy's house.
No.
We could do it right through here.
He can do whatever he wants because I am the control operator of his actions. Isn't that right?
Yeah, you are. Yeah, you
right?
are.
Right?
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
Yep.
If he needs anything,
yep.
We don't even need to be next to each other.
Nope. You don't even need to be the same in the fucking room.
Okay.
As long as I have control.
Yep.
So Josh, let me give you an example.
That's why I'm not so hard on my buddy here about getting his ticket because I got him either way.
So
yeah, pretty much.
He can get a radio and play all day long.
Okay, so this is my thing. Okay, if there's an emergency, there is FCC rules that you can get around stuff as far as licenses and permission. Okay.
Yeah, but that emergency is like times 10 what the American version of emergency equals.
Well, no, not necessarily. And South Carolina.
Josh, how many times have we had an emergency in St. Augustine? Like twice.
There's South Carolina. There was an example.
Only when a hurricane comes through.
Okay, so every time a hurricane
we're
comes
talking about
through.
hurricane. Okay, South Carolina. There was an example of a guy. He called in the repeater. He's not.
These Northerners don't know anything about this.
But he said, "Hey, I need help here," and
Oh no, that's no,
And
that
he
that's the
told- he
trigger
told-
word. Nope,
he
I'm
told-
triggered. You need help? All bets are off. Right? Am I wrong? Am I
okay.
wrong?
Yeah, let me finish.
Go ahead.
He said he needed help because there was somebody's body in his tree.
All
And-
bets are off.
yeah,
I'm going to talk on whatever the
Somebody's
fuck
that was-
frequency,
body.
whatever the fuck radio
No.
I need to make it
So-
right, because that's a
Oh.
humanitarian thing.
So that was perfectly legal what he did, and they got the help that he needed, and they got the
What? Hold on.
response there.
Let's go back to the root of this conversation. What frequency did he transmit on, and
It-
what radio did he transmit
Dude, it
on?
doesn't matter.
No,
You're
it does. No, in this
somebody's
conversation, it does
Body.
because he broke the rule intentionally.
No, there's
Did
no
he
breaking
not?
rules there. No, there's no breaking rules there.
Okay, I
No.
thought you were telling me somebody transmitted off frequency on some kind of device because of a situation. I thought you were giving me an example.
That was an example. Is 2
There
meters.
was somebody's
It was
meter
2
repeater,
meter.
body.
It was a 2 meter repeater. Okay, so it was legal eagle for the ham.
but he was not a ham. But it was
It
legal
was
situation.
okay. So this is perfect. It was not a ham transmitting on a
There's
local
somebody's
repeater.
body.
No, we got that. We're talking about the details of how our licenses work.
Okay.
Right.
So why would I get a license if that's the case? Okay. So
Because you would
Let-
never
let
open
me-
your
let-
mouth otherwise.
So let me back up on that. Okay. So that's an example of using a situation like if you see a police officer down and he's hurting,
You can grab his gun
Talk.
and his fucking radio. Sorry,
you could use this radio.
my channel. I don't
call
give a shit.
dispatch, and say, dispatch, and I happen to have a public safety call, but hey, I'm at this intersection. I have an officer down here. He cannot speak.
So what I'm trying to get out of you, Michael,
So
is I'm-
that's covered. That's covered by.
I'm trying to show Josh that the ham radio world is not as black and white as it appears.
Okay. But let me back up. Let me back up a little bit more. So we're kind of getting into some nitty gritty stuff. So let me back up a little bit more.
I'm
So-
trying to get Josh interested enough to get his ticket, but at the present time, free band and shortwave is still an astronomical amount of information for him.
Right. So
Right?
Josh is so we got 3 levels of we have 5 levels of licenses in the United States for ham radio. Okay. You
Okay.
can only test for 3 of them. Okay. So or
No, we
three of them
we
if I
still
can-
have 5, but we
So
only have
we
3.
We have novice, tech, general, advanced, and then extra. Okay.
Okay.
Advanced and novice are gone. Okay. So your first level is going to be tech. So what the tech course involves is
I've already explained all this to him.
Right,
You don't
right,
need to,
but
you don't
it-
need
but
to go,
it
you don't need to
involves-
run through it.
but let me explain this
Go
for
ahead,
the
go ahead,
viewers as well.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
So it involves it's a practical application of what it is, regulation, safety, and a little bit of
90% safety.
yes, 90% safety, and
Yeah.
a little bit of Ohm's law. So
And
they
they-
can
and
say
then you
they
get-
talk to you about some electrical thing. You
Then
already
they give you like 200 watts.
if you're doing
Yeah.
you already actually you get 1500 on 6 meters.
Oh, that's right. Sideband.
Yeah. So, but and a little bit of 10 meter and all that, but that's the technician level. But the whole point of that is you're just taking the test, and it's going to be for me. It's memorization. Okay, you're taking the test to get your license. You're not trying to figure it out. You're just wanting to get your
Mm-mm.
license.
No, you have
Because
nothing to
it's
prove to
not until
anybody.
you have your license that you're going to actually start to learn about radio.
That's the beautiful thing about our country and our testing system, that it's far different from other countries, that we have an open test pool and the others don't, and they suppress amateur radio operations in other countries.
So what it used to be back in the day was, You didn't see the questions, but they were they kind of gathered what was on the test by exit polls. People
okay.
all the tests that came out, and it was exit polls.
They were getting like 20, 15% pass rates.
So you're gonna understand that there's
Wow.
it's a basic knowledge to get into it, but until you're in it and you're operating and you're working with other hams, you're just not going to learn ham radio until you're actually doing it. So that's your
No.
life to learn. And
You get your tech,
stuff
and
like
then you
me now.
run your general, and then you get on HF and you talk around the world, boy.
Yeah, and that wasn't my reason for going in there. There's 1,000 different reasons to get in ham radio. Mine was emergency communications. That was my reason. But I do a lot of other things in ham radio as well. But you think it's just a simple push to talk, release to listen, and it's not.
So here's the thing.
You got to learn the nuance and the way it works. Like you push, you're going to hesitate. You're going to wait a full second for everything to energize before you start talking. And then you release, you're going to wait until it's time for that release. What are you doing, Ziggy?
Oh, just keeping it interesting.
Little shuffle
Musical screen share? I mean, what's going on?
Something like that. But it's a license to learn. I'm an extra class, so I got the highest level license, but I'm still learning.
We don't know what my license class is, or even if I have a call sign.
Oh, there you go.
But I have the same license class as Michael, so.
Oh, there you go. He's extra classy.
The point is that I have no restrictions, as does Michael. I can do anything on HF that Michael can. And Michael, what state are you in? I have no clue. Texas.
How can you forget Texas?
So, howdy, y'all.
So Michael can tell you, Josh, with confidence that if we wanted to do 40 meters right now, we could probably do that shit.
Yeah, but I gotta go drag all my equipment out to do that.
Now, are you in it? Wait a minute, hold on. I don't know about your situation.
My HF is portable.
You're only portable?
But if you look behind me, you see that little...
Yeah, I see that.
Right there?
That's your 2 meter.
That's 2 meter 440 right there.
Okay, that's not HF.
That's local comms, but I can also do digital with that.
Are you renting? What's going on here? Huh?
My house that just became my house.
Are you HOA? Like,
no.
How?
Am I confusing you?
Are you in one of them like mega burbs?
I'm in the, which is a bedroom community. I just never got
a bedroom community. Have you heard that, Josh? Is that what it's called? Seriously?
Bedroom community? That's what they call them, yeah. It used to be an outlining place that nothing was around. You had to drive down to Dallas to get to a grocery store at one time.
I love that pillar support beam above your head, but I want to think that this is new construction and that might just be decoration.
77.
Oh, this house is 77?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. Well, that's a serious support beam then.
I think it's more decorative than anything. It's a vaulted ceiling. But
well, they couldn't get rid of it.
Back there,
so they had to trim around it, right, Josh? Right, Josh?
Hey, Paul deal.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Yeah, cut around it. Right. It's beautiful. I guarantee, dude. Look how long that run is. That's like 20 feet, dude. Are you kidding me? That's not support. That's 20 feet, and there's a ceiling fan off of it.
Yep. And that's just a juncture box.
Sorry, that's the electrician.
I got a little chain with a that goes.
Oh no! Oh, that was an add-on. Yeah.
But there was a ceiling fan on it before.
Love it, Josh.
Oh yeah.
Oh shit. Grouch hasn't come back. I think he's done.
No, I'm back.
Oh, there he is.
I'm sorry, buddy. I was waiting to see you. If you want to be here on audio, I'll put you on audio.
I apologize. I'm just AWOL on video.
That's all.
I don't
good.
need your video, buddy. I just need your like inspiring voice from the heavens.
Well, you got it.
I got it. I do. I do have it. It's right there.
So I'm having to look over my TV monitor here to see the. So okay, Stephen, the antenna's in the house. It's in a different room. My radio shack's in a different room because I'm lazy and I've never gotten around to putting a grounding system in to get it up on the roof. But I've actually run Skywarn nets off of that. So,
Josh, can you put that
my stuff,
camera
radio is deployment based. So
either to a wider spread to show everybody this awesome like man cave?
Oh, let me
it's
see
a
here.
very messy-
So Josh has the equivalent of a man cave. Oh, perfect. Oh, and we're widescreen.
Ooh,
But
There we go.
this is Josh's explicit room.
Oh yeah, this is just
Right.
yeah, the office.
Oh yeah. He's got wall-to-wall desk. He's got
Ooh.
printers
There's
on
the
tap.
safe.
He's got safes, and he's got records.
And then there's a wall of amplifiers.
Yeah, he's got instruments and everything. He's got a mixer
I
somewhere.
think he's a musician
God
because
damn,
I'm a musician.
motherfucker.
Yeah.
Oh,
there's a
dude.
mixer over here.
Oh no, there's no stopping this man. And not only that, but he and
Got some records on the wall.
he and the
I got
young
up there some
lady.
Charlie Pride, some Kenny
Oh.
Rogers.
Charlie Pride. I like Charlie Pride.
He and this young lady do gigs even. Can you
Oh,
believe
sweet.
this shit? Yeah.
Gigs.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been playing the art shows downtown. I'm in St. Augustine over here,
Okay.
kind of like Northeast Florida.
Oh
I
Jesus
can't remember
Christ.
the name of the band I was in, but
Oh fuck.
here we
Dude,
go.
Grouch. Ham court
Dude.
just got like sideways, dude.
Oh fuck.
Oh, yeah,
I gotta
nice.
look at Hamcore right now.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think I'm about to be brought up on
On charges of your own.
So I can't even.
they're
see
gonna
it.
they're gonna pause proceedings and they wanna I might bring a reverse class action against all the Magic Carpet fanboys. I'm not a Magic Carpet fanboy, so I think
I'm
that
not a
excludes
Magic
me.
fan.
Somebody's getting sued, but I think that they're trying to talk about me, which is great because I've never once used the carpet. What you got there, Michael?
This is my Takamine. This is what I used to play with a lot. I have a Yamaha BVG4 bass, and I got a Delphine classic guitar that I used to play.
Michael,
drum.
you better bring your A plus
Yeah, well, I
game.
know just by his look, he's way above what I was back in the 90s. And that stuff is from the 90s. I used to play Down Deep Element stuff, but not that anymore. I had a friend, his name was
This is the
JJ.
one I've been playing.
He played it for a
Plug
band.
it in, Josh. Set up the phone, homie. Don't stop
there you
holding
go.
it. Set it up somewhere. Can you prop it up somewhere for us?
Yeah, I have a tripod.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me put my guitar up. And my Shane.
Hey, Grouch, you got to work tomorrow, homie?
Dude, I don't ever work.
I guess it is Saturday, huh?
Yeah, I wish I worked. I do.
Go,
I wish
Crouch,
I wish
homie.
I worked.
Crouch, homie. It's that time for you.
Yeah. That guitar's
Those are not happy faces I'm looking at.
I'm sorry.
No, don't be sorry.
Love you guys.
I love you too.
I get a live stream tomorrow.
Hey, right?
Fuck. Fuck me, man.
Hey, you know what my job was?
What's your job, Ziggy?
To hijack Paul and to keep you on for another 2.5 hours, motherfucker.
You fucking did it, bro. You did it.
Go fuck yourself.
You did it. You did it. I fucked
Love
myself.
you, Grouch.
I love
Go
you
to
too,
bed.
bro.
All right, see ya.
Trying to adjust the light there. There you go. That's the first time I've gone away from my little.
He
corner
just
there.
signed off. Yeah, he was done. He's gone.
Yeah, he's.
He wanted to go to bed so bad.
So yeah, I had a friend. His
See,
name,
that's a good host, right?
yeah. His name was JJ.
Absolutely.
He played for a band called Sixpence None the Richer. But I used to go out and hang out with him, and I hang out at his apartment, and we used to play what was it, Mortal Kombat on the Sega Genesis.
Dude, Mortal Kombat on the Sega Genesis was the
I remember
best.
those days.
It was the best. It was better
It
than
was so
Super
fun.
Nintendo.
Because
they had more blood.
It was one of the ones he would sling out and this whip, and he'd pull you in. Get over here, and you just waylaid him.
Anyway.
But no, he joined a band. He said, "Man, pray for me, man. I'm going to be playing with I'm auditioning in Austin," and he played with his band. He did 3 or 4 albums with them, and they made it big, quick. And then a few years later, they're kind of gone. And I think they're actually making a comeback now. But
so there's a commenter, Steven, help me out. Steven Bodu, right? Bodu.
Or just HF. So I'm not familiar with Sarnet. Is that searching?
Okay, so Sarnet is a Florida thing.
Okay, I'm in.
I love you too. I love you too, Grouch. He said, "I fucking love you all." That was real sweet.
Yeah.
So Sarnet is a Florida
love you
thing.
too, bro. Thank you for your service.
Thank you, sir.
Not love. Yeah, there you go. So Sarnet is a Florida only division of radio networking for ham radio operators for free, and I'm pretty sure that the repeater network is around 20 to 30 repeaters. And what's cool is that they're all multicast and simulcast over different modes that are not internet. So they all these towers all over Florida talk to each other over microwave.
Right.
And then they relay over VHF. I think, right? They're all VHF?
They're probably microwave linking.
No. Yeah. They're microwave linking, but I'm pretty sure all the actual access points are in the VHF range.
Mm-hmm.
Which is even more expensive and complicated to keep up with than UHF. But
right.
At the same time, I can take a bow thing and walk any square inch on the entire state of Florida. And if I need help, I'm super dangerous because I can call I could call the Coast Guard. Right, Michael?
Right.
With a bow thing. Right.
So we have what's called the Texas Nexus. And it basically all the way out from where I live down to Austin or down 75 to 45 to Houston, we can be on the Texas Nexus. And it, man, I look washed out on the big screen, but I look normal color on the small screen.
I'm doing it to you on purpose.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I like.
God. Thanks, Sig.
But that came to play when we had Hurricane Harvey come and flood everything out. And
Harvey.
Yeah. So and it was, and the worst part of Harvey was the flooding. So we had a lot of flooding out here. So we had that capability. But my normal response so we do Skywarn. Skywarn's a very big thing because we have a lot of severe weather here, a lot of hail, a lot of tornadoes that come in our area. We're in Tornado Alley. So that part I'll do for my desk.
Yeah.
It does operate off this antenna here, but I'm not in this room. This room's pretty vacant usually when that's happening. The TV screen that's next to me, I'll usually have on a news station just to see what they're going. But we're in communication with the National Weather Service through the NWS chat system and our WX5 FWD ham operators that communicate and become our liaisons, because trust me, it gets very busy at our desk. We got multiple people working there now. But the other things we do, like if there's a search and rescue, that's when I asked about SAR. That's search and rescue to us.
Oh, okay.
We'll have a missing Alzheimer's patient or somebody with autism or a situation where they're considered critically missing. And then we will go out and assist our civilian or community emergency response team and Office of Emergency Management. Sometimes excuse me, we get called out by Little Elm, or we'll get called out by the sheriff's department, or whatever agency we're being called out, Sanger Police Department, to help search for them, because we have numbers and we have training. So we go out there. We have screens which we're using APRS. You can see where the search genes are. We can.
He doesn't know what APRS is.
Huh?
He doesn't know what APRS is.
Okay, so
Michael,
I got to back up.
Yeah. I'm trying to get him into the hobby, but at the same time, I told you that his intro into the hobby is shortwave, SDR, and 11 meters. And outside of that, honestly, like shit hit the fan, he can do just as much damage, if not more, because he's more trained. Ham radio operators can't do 11 meters. Like they just can't. Like if you find somebody like me that started at one and then progressed to the other, we're actually pretty rare to find. I only know 3 people within 500 miles that have done what I've done.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they happen to be like close friends of mine, which is really interesting. So this is a dying thing.
That is.
So APRS is
yeah.
When I
gotta get more of us into it.
On the test as automatic position reporting system, and that's what the test said. It's not what it is. It's called automatic packet reporting system. So, but we use it often for position reporting. That's why it used to say that on the test. So we can actually see on a map where each one of our search teams are at the moment. During Skywarn, I have a software called GR Level 3. I can see where all my people are on the screen, but I understand that, and it shows me the call sign and position, sometimes the speed and what direction they're heading. And I can say, hey, I need you to look in your northwest. What features are you seeing? So we're trained as storm spotters as well by the National Weather Service. We go through this training annually. For us in Denton County, it's going to be next week, Saturday, that we're going to be training for that. So we can use APRs in a number of ways, from this position reporting. Say we're supporting
which we never do.
A fundraiser where we'll have a bike ride, like the turkey roll. I'm wearing a turkey roll shirt. I did not ride my bike in this thing. I was running a car with yellow flashing lights on there, just helping cyclists that broke down. We got the wagons and stuff to go to where they are and get them repaired, make sure everybody was safe. There is an emergency, we would address it the best way we could.
Oh, cool.
It's a very niche emergency situation, but
yeah,
for mountainsides and countries that don't have quite the telemetry and communication set up, the ham radio operators come out of nowhere.
Yeah,
and it's great.
So
yeah, and there's no need to like hire a government agency to then file, bullshit. They just establish the network themselves
So in Denton County, ham radios
at their own expense. Am I right?
yes.
Right.
So Denton County is a little different than most.
It's pretty much a private thing.
So Denton County is very different. Now the county has a lot of ham equipment.
There are counties that are root logicked with people that are ham radio operators that allocate money for this stuff. Like my county, I think allocates hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars for equipment. But why is our local ham radio club unestablished and in a volunteer fire department parking lot with no radio?
Yeah.
So I have questions.
Our county is very special because it was relationships that were established long before I came along. But you talk to emergency management at the county level, they're like, how can we help you? Can you help us, teach us this and that just from y'all's experiences? They're coming to us. They got all the academia and, they got their college degrees that they need and the certifications they need, but there's so much more to learn. And there's so much more I'm learning. And it's just an incredible symmetry of symbiotic relationship that we have. And, I was talking earlier, my Elmer, the guy who teaches me a lot of stuff, he's 81. But he's been deployed on so many wildfires and floods and stuff with Denton County Office of Emergency Management and the Fire Marshal's office. So, I mean, that's stuff that's happened over years and years and years. And are we having a disco here?
No, I'm getting dizzy.
But I think to get into ham radio, my passion is MCOM. That's why I got into ham radio. And but some people may be into flying model airplanes, and they want the exclusive bands that ham radio operators get to use for flying airplanes. Call sign's not public yet. It is on a PO box. I'm just waiting for Cures to update.
Michael, I want you to hear from my good friend Josh about his experience, because we don't ever get this side, right?
Mm-hmm.
We only hear from like the bantered, licensed, and beat down and bitter class of licensed operators. This is a once in a stream opportunity before he gets licensed for you to understand what like a pure mind thinks about what the shit we do, man. We do some weird stuff
with the frequencies.
With the frequencies.
With the frequencies.
All right, Josh.
What was your initial thought whenever I started talking to you, Josh, about
howdy, Chris, by the way,
how I can just talk all over the world? Like, does that make you feel like I felt?
Yeah, I mean, I remember whenever you first started getting into this stuff, and I always thought, I was like, yeah, that's cool, man, that's great, all about communication, right?
But how far did you think I was really talking?
Contact each other without much interference, via like a cell phone or something like that,
But how far did you think I was really getting out? Like, there had to be some kind of disbelief.
No,
you know what I mean?
I don't think there was any disbelief with it with me. I mean, yeah.
Like we have the technology. How far could 10 watts of power really go? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, all right.
I mean, it depends on how you get that frequency harmonized in its perfect wave. I mean, you can do a lot with little power. I mean, just like a guitar amp, you'd be surprised what like a little 20-watt amplifier will do. It will fill a nice sized room. You'd be surprised.
I got one tucked in the corner here. I need to unbury.
my friend just totally just blew me out of the water because he has a full 360-degree understanding about how, what I like to say, RF gonna RF, sound gonna sound, power gonna power.
That's right.
Right. Yeah. It wants to get out.
Yeah.
How many steps are you gonna resist it?
So Josh, not to twist your arm to get a ham radio. Ham radio is great. We were talking about GMRS, and some hams kind of have a look down on GMRS. GMRS is more for appliance users, is what they call it. So you got a radio, you push the button, you talk, the other person can hear you, and vice versa. But it doesn't require cell phone coverage. And my is,
that's nice.
What got me into ham radio is the fear of not being able to communicate with those I love and my friends and family. And so that's why I got into ham radio.
Yeah.
So that's a great point, right? So
right.
Ham radio operators using FRS equipment for some reason feels like a slap in the face or like a degraded version of using a radio. However, it's a much higher frequency with a much higher tolerance. It's actually a more beautiful sounding radio up at around, what is it, like 460 megahertz?
Yeah, it's
versus what I like to get down on 3 megahertz, but it still sounds good.
So my get a ham radio. Yeah. So while I'm with my family, I have a connection to what's going on. Now with GMR, so I always say, and GMRS, you can get a license. It costs exactly the same amount that a ham radio license is, and it's good for 10 years. And you can get on repeaters on 8 of those frequencies.
But I am Laurel. I am not ARRL, so he doesn't owe me anything. Still to this day,
just to get that
Laurel. Yeah, so there's Josh. There's what he's talking about, ARRL people. And that's the organization, and I'm on the resistance. I am Laurel. We don't charge you, and we electronically file, and we file you within seconds.
But the federal government now requires a $35 fee. But you know what? That's not a big deal in the
Laurel.
Okay, you're talking about something I don't know about. But that gets you to where you can take care of your own family, because you have your call sign now. And that call sign can be heard by everybody that is a blood relative of yours or in a marriage. So your children, your grandparents, everybody can be able to communicate with each other when something goes down, when stuff goes down. Now, ham radio is for your community. So any organization that's going to be working to help people, if you want to be a part of that and be a part of be able to communicate with those people during that time, ham radio is the way to go. Now, I brought up the example earlier about what happened in South Carolina. I have a free. I need help to get this person out. Just to be respectful, and I need. Okay, that's great, but you're not going to learn how to communicate unless we're doing the disco thing again.
Right.
Unless you get that license and you start using it, you start practicing, and you get the practicality of it.
Right.
So, and that's my push for get your ham radio license, but I also push you to get your JMRS as well. As an immersive communications guy, MCOM. That's what this stands for, immersive communication.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Get
So
go.
I agree
Well-
with all that, and simultaneously, he doesn't need to do anything during an emergency, right?
What do you
He
mean?
he can use whatever is available to him.
But how effectively?
Oh
Would it
no.
be more effective if he was practiced at it?
Okay. That's a conversation on itself for sure.
Yeah. So that's my thing is you get preppers that say, I'm going to have an HF radio. I said, you're going to let the smoke out of that radio. It's going to start smoking. And then you're like, I can't use it because you don't know how to use it. Okay. So now we're talking the HF world. Okay. Let's talk about the handheld world. Okay. The cadence, the ability to effectively communicate and get the message across properly.
Hold on. Let's get back to Josh's level.
Well, I'm trying to talk at Josh's level.
He's got the ability to do anything he wants to do on CB, AM, sideband, upper and lower, and that goes way low and way high. And he can load up anything he can find without knowing anything about ham radio. Also, he has the ability to buy bubble pack radios, which transmit on FRS, but also on the GMRS channels. Now, hold on. There's more.
Which is the same channels, but different power levels. But go ahead.
Right. And then on top of that, besides those two, Josh, what would you use? What would you do?
What would I do?
Yeah. Where's the first place that you would run to when communication failed? I mean, you can only stay at home so long and be there without zero communication without going to one place first. My first place that I would go to would be Long's Auto. I would go to the shop after I made sure that everything was like straight at the shop, or I'm sorry, straight at the house, because without communication, that would be the first place that I would think Shelton would go to. What about you?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Like zero communication. It's either the house or the shop.
Yeah. Well, yeah. If no communications go down, if I have to leave my area, then
Right. Where would you go?
I'd probably go
Think
towards
about
your
it.
house because you're
My
one of
house?
the people I know with a radio. So
No,
that's where I would go.
Well, not only do I have a radio, but I have big antennas.
Exactly.
Big.
There's a couple of
antennas.
guys around town here that have antennas. I know where a few are.
Right. They don't have big antennas though. They're talking locally on shorter, higher frequencies. I'm talking around the world on a laughable amount of power.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I would definitely, I need to start there. Definitely need to get the CV and, just a few different things that I can at least get going with and, start getting familiar with those. Because, I mean, I really haven't really messed with too much as far as those kind of radios go.
That's another topic about microphone fright. Am I right, Michael?
Mike fright.
Mike fright.
Yeah, Mike fright's a big thing. And,
right.
And
you can get over that real quick on CB.
Performer. So you got to understand that every place you go and every mode that you use, it's going to be a different culture. And a lot of hams want to put GMRS as a
Colin's getting into China.
on my phone.
That's pretty bad. That's a perfect example.
Afraid I'm going to dump what I have. I'm going through the browser right now on my iPhone. Yeah, Colin's saying they no longer pay for a ham license. We didn't until recently, Colin. That's a new thing that we're now having to pay for. We pay for the testing, but not the ham license.
Chris, I really appreciate you, brother.
The thing is, CB's great, but I'm not well versed in the CB world right now. I used to be in the CB world, but System Band, it got to be where it was kind of a different culture than I'm used to, as far as it's just the part of society where there was a big drug culture and everything on the CB bands. Now, outside of the metropolitan areas, that may be different. But I think with anything is, I don't want to push somebody into something they're not into, because we got a lot of people that get their licenses in ham radio and they don't know how to push the button. They don't understand that you have to release the button for to hear the person on the other side.
Yeah, there is no ham radio without you pushing the button, right?
So, but
right,
the whole point of it,
you got to key in.
If nobody talks, there is no radio.
If you get a license, you need to use that license and learn how to communicate effectively, and that's not a daunting task. That's just getting used to it. Now, ham radio, at least in my area of the country, ham radio. If you have a problem or you sound trashy or you name it, hey, your signal's bad. Hey, this is happening. That's happening. Hey, back off the mic. Talk across the mic, not into the mic. And it's stuff like that. They're going to tell you what you're doing wrong, but they're trying to teach you. It's not a beat you down thing. Now, we do have what we call sad hams, or ham holes, as I like to call them. And there can be people that want to be superior and show you how much more knowledge they have. There's a guy on YouTube that's not a Rubicon, and he just does GMRS stuff. And he does very well of showing the people for who they are.
Right.
I don't know what I'm doing on a lot of things. And so people are going to...
I'm new.
And it's always it's a constant thing, but we do it to encourage you to learn. Yeah. So that's what I like about the hobby. CB, they go to these CB radio shops, and they have these CB radios. They give them these mics that have like a big preamp, and they overmodulate or distortion, as my guitar amp does. You're overmodulating, you're overdriving it. Gets that
overdriving it.
Yeah, there you go. And
too much gain on the input side. Come on, turn it down.
Yeah, and so it's different. But I would encourage you to get a tech license and a GMRS license and understand how they both work. They're different.
All right.
Different venues, but ham radio is not for everyone. And I get that. I totally get that. But it's good to have friends that are in it. But having the mindset that you know how to take care of stuff if something does happen, don't think that, because with everything you need practice.
Absolutely.
I picked up my guitar, it's out of tune. I was going to play a little ditty, and I was like, oh my gosh, what am I doing? I haven't touched this thing in 2 months. And it's sitting there now. But compared to you, if you're actively doing gigs, it's going to be totally different for you.
Now,
it would be for me.
Now let's get back on topic. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, yeah. And I get that way too. If I don't gig out all the time, you got to work on them chops. I mean, you got to be playing every day,
Right.
to stay on top of it. Otherwise, you get a little rusty, or just something just doesn't flow correctly. But yeah, much practice. Staying in practice is key for sure.
I mentioned my friend JJ, and I was playing Mortal Kombat on the Sega Genesis. He his I'm shopping at an Albertsons, which is a grocery store in the area at the time. His music is playing on the grocery store radio, the Albertsons radio. And I called him up. I said, "You know, you made it big when you're on the grocery store playlist."
Yeah.
But he was somebody that would practice 8+ hours, 8 to 10 hours a day.
More
Oh,
like
yeah.
you ain't getting paid anymore because they've
But
completely obliterated
he,
the
he
payment method.
yeah, he would get depressed, and he would buy a video to learn a new technique on the. He's a bass player,
Mhm.
during bass, and but he would get depressed if he just hit a wall. He's
Wow.
like, I'm hitting a wall. I got to learn something new, and but you can go in any store and you can hear it. Kiss me out in the starry night. That was one of their songs that made huge radio play nationwide. In fact, I picked up one of their albums in Ottumwa, Iowa, of all places, when I was traveling. So,
Oh, really? Wow.
Radar O'Reilly there. So, but he was one that practiced so much that we go to open mic nights, and he would encourage me to play a little bass or a little guitar, and then he'd get up there, and nobody, and that ended the night because nobody wanted to play after him.
Why not?
And he's like, "No, please come." And in fact, he borrowed a bass to play one time. I was with him at some Irish bar, and the guy says, "You keep the bass. I don't want it anymore."
What? All right.
What? He's like, "No, you keep doing what you're doing. You're doing great." I mean, he would have to turn around and encourage him, but it's just the skill level that he had because he was doing it so much and so intensely. Now,
Wow, yeah.
I'm not like that in communication. I'm not like that in anything right now.
Yeah.
But I mean, there was that translated so much for me, and that's why I say, get your license and everything, but don't leave it. Get on there, play around a little bit, make mistakes, screw things up, but you'll be the better for it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's all about the experience.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah, got to have that.
License to learn.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, in anything, it's pretty much going to be pay to play in some kind of way.
Right. But yeah.
I know it's just another expensive hobby I need to get into, but it's an important one because
it's not
communications
expensive.
is very important.
It's
I mean,
not.
it is more for others than some, but I'm kind of right there with you because I've got a prepper mentality. So
here's the cool thing about ham radio, like in the HF department. Right. So there's ham radio in the tech department, right? Where you get your little safety tech ticket, and then you start screwing off on 2 meters locally and screwing around with satellites and blah, blah, blah. And you can have like me, right, Michael? 5-6 years of fun with a 70 centimeter, 2 meter tech ticket, right? You did. I know you did. Look at you. You had a ton of fun on 2 meters. You had a ton of fun on 2 meters when you first got your tech ticket, didn't you? Admit it.
Yeah.
Tell him. I did too. I had a blast. I didn't even think about getting my next license class because I had so much fun locally on 2 meter antennas, so easy to build.
I remember those days.
Right. So
I
easy
remember
to build.
those days when you were talking locally. You're hitting repeaters and
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, tearing it
You're
up.
like, who am I talking to now? And you're like,
Right.
where?
All
Somewhere
over.
else in Florida.
Right. Through the SARS network. He's
Yeah.
talking about me talking through the SARS repeater system.
Yeah, the repeaters. Yep.
Yeah,
Right.
we have one called the Armadillo Network. Believe it or not.
Yeah, I remember when the SARS thing was like the coolest thing. You're like, check this out.
It went down for a while too, which was really.
Yeah, we got a lot of linked repeater groups in Texas. Armadillo, the Texas SETC repeater system.
All right, so back to that transition in between technician and general, right? Where I can start to screw around on HF. Josh Brown, I haven't touched 2 meters since I got my HF ticket. Why? Do you think I want to talk to these guys that I talk to every day on my drive to work? Are you kidding me? That's a more boring conversation than me talking about old lady before I leave the house.
I got my general and extra back in 2013, and that's where I live is VHF, UHF to this day. But I get on HF.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Where do you live? I live in Florida. Where do you live, Michael?
Texas.
What state? Okay. Totally different depending on the state and like all kinds of shit. Like HF probably isn't really great where Michael lives.
No, it's great. I've talked to France.
Okay.
I've talked to
and that's the thing about this hobby is that some people can be biased to one and the other.
But my thing is local MCOM. That's what I do. And but I still have
that's going to be VHF like primarily.
VHF, UHF, yeah.
Right, primarily. Right. So Josh, I'm sorry, JBZ. That's going to be in the 150 megahertz or megacycles. And about 440. No, not giggles, megas.
That giggles is what not a Rubicon calls him. He's a TS guy.
It's not giggles though. It's megas. Yeah. So about 150 megas to about 440 megas. That's easy, right? We don't have to make this complicated.
It's fun. It is a fun
I want more people to do this. And it's still complicated to like, my friends. They're like, dude, I don't even know what you're talking about, but you're talking to people in Italy like it's, next door.
So
yeah.
So my channel was
K and a 4 ZGY. It's a 5.9. A good copy. Go ahead, signal. Go ahead.
My channel is not. It didn't start out as a ham radio channel, but I've added more and more of it to it because it's part of my life. But I always sign off my channel with, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm having fun doing it. But for now, y'all take care, be safe, bye. And that's how I end my videos, and then some high speed or sped up driving scene or whatever as I'm leaving whatever activity I did. But it's one of those things that you'll never learn everything. If there's a that tells you they know everything about ham radio, that's a joke.
Josh, I want you to see what Chris has
that's
to share with.
That's like the electrical trade. I mean, you can't know everything, but you can know a lot.
Hey,
there's so many different facets.
This hits so hard, JB. Chris Bricker says, I never used my tech. So he got licensed and never got to use it because there was nobody around him that he had enough privilege to reach, and nobody around him had tickets either. So his entire tech ticket was useless because he probably lives like, where we would all want to live, away from fucking everybody. He had to go to the next stage and get his general just to play radio. So I got to yell farther with HF. So what he's saying is that he never got to use his fucking tech ticket, dude. And that hits me so hard. Because
Well,
that first test is no bullshit. Like it's all about safety and everything you got to say is wrong.
It's not hard. It's not hard.
It's not hard. It's not hard. And
I
you
know.
can fail it as many times as you want to.
Well,
That makes it not as discouraging.
Right. But if you do it through Laurel, it won't cost you anything.
Well,
Go ahead.
If you just know, it's all on what your interests and curiosities are. I mean, for me, amateur radio works, and GMRS works, and Aries and CERT and Medical Reserve Corps that I'm involved in, and Office of Emergency Management, the Fire Marshal's office, and all that. It works for me, and it works for my personality and my skill sets. I'm more of an operations guy than I am a tech or engineering guy, and I know those people, and I know how they can shine, and if everybody shines, then it becomes a better world for all of us, and that's my mind. I got people that are techs. I had one guy, he passed away not too long ago, but he was a tech with the extra class knowledge. So I'm not gonna bash somebody for their license level. If you're a tech and you're doing well and you're doing a great job, then that's great. I always encourage to get more, but I got an extra because people were talking down to me because they were extras and I was a general. That only lasted a couple of weeks when I went and got my extra. I just to say, hey, I got my extra now too, and I'm no more knowledgeable than you or where I was before. I learned some stuff.
Sure.
I learned 141 degrees was the correct answer. I can't tell you what the question was because I don't remember that, but I got that question right. But it's but
I'll tell you something spicy that explains everything about me.
Say again. Say it again.
I said, I'll tell you something about a license class that explains everything about me as far as my ham radio persona, outlook, and operation. Is that I was a tech and I went to my local club and they found out that my Elmer outside of the club was not part of ARRL and that we were Laurel, right? And they said, well, when do you plan on taking your general? And I said, well, I'm going to go to my Elmer's, and he and his wife are 2, and they invite a friend over for 3 sign-offs for my next pass. And they go, oh, well, that sounds awfully convenient, going to your Elmer's house to take your ticket test. And the attitude in the room flipped 180. Have you ever been in a room where all of a sudden it was flipped on you like that? Michael's not hearing me. You know what I'm talking about, Josh? Like all of a sudden the focus is on you because everybody thinks that you're lying all of a sudden. I was like, dude, that's so disrespectful.
Yeah.
Right? Where all of a sudden a bunch of uneducated people have arbitrary evidence to what they don't know what they're talking about. And now all of a sudden you have to prove yourself. That's what it is. You have to prove yourself again, twice, paper and in persona. Right? Right? Like you have to pass the test before you even get to take the test.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
anyway, what was I talking about? Hold on. There's a point to this. So they said that's super weird that you're gonna go take your general test at your Elmer's place. And one guy said, well, he could just take it here and, shut us all down or whatever, equivalency that was. But that was in laughter because they had no faith in me. And I said, give me the test. And I passed it in front of them. It took me about 10 minutes, but 3 of them sat on my desk with their fat asses and checked off my work. And they said, the boy passed. He said, you want to take the extra class? And I said, no, I wasn't trying to take the general class here. And that was, Michael, J. Beasy, that was the last time I went to that club.
Wow.
I left with my dignity. Does that make sense? Like, do you guys understand?
I think I'm picking you up.
Yeah.
Yep. But if ham radios for you, beyond just
clubs are weird, man. Clubs don't really work in these years. In the year of 2025, they don't really work. This is our club. We're doing a club right now.
Okay, so
physical meetups are painful and expensive.
So I'm a little different because I think clubs can be healthy and they can be very unhealthy. Okay.
Monthly field events, yes. Weekly club events. That's asking a lot these days.
Well, I'm a member of 2 clubs. We got about 4 or 5 clubs in this county. One's Denton County Amateur Radio Association. I've been a member of Lake Luso Amateur Radio Association. I just kind of had to back off. They're very more technically engineering type club, but they're a great club. They do some great stuff. They work with the Boy Scouts and all that, and the Radio Merit Badge system there. And then Lake Area Amateur Radio Club is right around the corner from my house. I can walk there, but I usually drive there because we usually have dinner afterwards, and dinner's not close, so that's why I do that. But like Lark is a contesting club. They like to do contests. They like to see how many contacts they can make and do events, go out camping and do an event. So they're the fun club. Denton County is they want to go out and do more public service stuff. So they do a lot of bike rides and they help support the Aries program and stuff like that. Or, like I said, it's more in the engineering, the more in the brain type stuff. There's a club down in Carrollton, Mars, Metrocrest Amateur Radio Society, and they like to do, more of the building type things. And so each club has its own flavor. So the clubs that are dying are the ones that are like, we're smarter than you, and you need to prove yourself to us before you become a part of us. And that's not a club for me. That's not a club for me at all. So I'd rather be a club that welcomes people and gets them involved and gets them plugged in, and maybe go to more than one club because they all have different angles. Like Takara will set up a MCON scene like nobody else. They'll have RVs that are converted to communications platforms, trailers and all that. And then you don't have many radio operators. That's not their thing. They're not the ones that like to operate the radio, but they like to set it up. They like to get a system going. And then you get like the Lark Club that's all radio operators. And that's what they want to do. They want to be on the radio, making the contacts and doing the contesting and scoring and all that. So it's all, our clubs complement each other. And that's what we're trying to keep, is that they continue to complement each other, that they're not against each other, because it's not a competition. It's all for the same set of goals. Promote amateur radio, get amateur radio operators interested, and the different facets of amateur radio.
So Chris says it sounded like I was pressured into getting my extra. No, I was pressured into getting my general. My extra, in my opinion, didn't feel any different from the general, but you're absolutely right on that accord, Chris. I wasn't pressured into getting my extra. I was pressured into getting my general, which I wanted to save for a special event outside of standard ARRL testing centers, because my Elmer, my 7-tour veteran Elmer, is in a Laurel, which is great because I can just go to his house and test out. We don't have to call a formal meeting on Saturday at 4. I can just say, hey, man, you and your wife, call your friend. Let's have a beer. Let me take a test. And there's no fees. I wanted to save that, but I knew that my Elmer would find it more gangster of me to just throw it down on him and then go do my extra at his house anyway, which is exactly what I did the next day. So I actually have a lapse of general extra within a few days in between Laurel and ARRL. So if you look at the records, it's kind of funny and it's cute at the same time.
So, Chris,
because the ARRL takes 2 weeks, whereas Laurel is 24 hours. So I was actually an extra before I was a general, if you want to think about it.
So Chris, funny thing is, I was kind of shamed into becoming an extra because when I got my general, I was so excited. I started volunteering at this place called the SciTech Center. And some other hams say, you don't know much as a general. That was the way, that's what they said to me. I'm like, yeah. Well, I don't know much because I've only been in ham radio for a couple of years.
Right. General is the tech of HF.
And I got my extra and they shut up because now I'm like the same license class as them. And they're like, yeah, my call sign's blank, 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 stroke Alpha Echo, which means amateur extra. So,
Daisy.
Look at that puppy.
Oh, you're so dumb. Mm-hmm. So dumb.
Hey, doggy dog.
There we go. All right. Trying to get Daisy on camera. She's so dumb.
But I was digging in my drawer here on my work desk because I thought my license plates were in there with my call sign. I was going to present them next week when.
Oh, there she is. She looks so pretty on camera.
Oh, look at Daisy.
What was that? Oh, she's got to go potty.
Oh, I think my phone's about to die here.
All right, guys.
I'm gonna have to check off. It was great getting on with you tonight.
Yeah, it's fun. And Josh, thanks for coming on, man. And,
yeah, thanks for having me. Appreciate you, Ziggy.
And
we gotta do it.
And see you play sometime. That'll be fun.
Thanks, guys. I'm gonna hit the button.
All right, y'all have a good one.
See ya.
Bye.
All right.